management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
It was a Nazi. It was a Nazi.
Hold on to your butts.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Vader's in the house. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm good, Joey. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, and, well, plenty, I guess, to get to today, though it is a slow news day. But, locally here, people still going on. Coach Tuberville still doubling down. I know Dale Jackson, I guess I could call him a competitor, colleague, peer.
Colleague?
No, see, and I don't even want to claim peer because the man's been doing radio a lot longer than me. But he's been hammering this, continuing on his show, I know for a fact, and the Twitter. Mm-hmm. Did you see the story about Space Camp, Eddie?
Yes.
What are your thoughts? Because I only touched on it briefly. I am not a father. You are. Now, you're not a father of a daughter, no. But it's, come on, I mean, you're a father, so you have the actual insight, not just how
I have a big issue with it, but to kind of put it the way I see it, I recently took the grandkids, we went to Tennessee and all. Mm-hmm. We went to this Build-A-Bear, and I've always wanted to do that with grandkids. It was an incredible experience, even it was. But that's the first time that I've ever gone to a place like that, and the guy behind the counter had the full makeup on, and I really thought about, and I know I sound like a redneck, but I really thought about snatching my grandkids up and walking out of there. Because I don't want anything to do with that. You can play in your own world, that's fine for you. We did the experience, and it was a good experience. But to this day, I don't know if I did the right thing. I don't want them kind of having to deal with that.
But it was like instinct on your part.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he dealt with this the whole time. He ended up being a perfectly normal individual as far as that goes. But it took me, and maybe I'm old, but it took me back. I was just like, what? I'm looking around, how can an organization and this park and all, but apparently I'm the odd man out. This is the normal today. And I don't like it. And
what I said yesterday is the two things that I said were, one, it's, I think, a shame. It hurts my heart to watch people who really are lost souls, and I'm not putting that
I agree with you
in a derogatory way. I think people trying to find purpose and meaning in this life, and that's the road they go down. Like a study just came out that said men who try to transition to women who do get the surgery are twice as likely to commit suicide.
So that tells me what I've kind of wondered and thought aloud all along. They've had some mental issues. They're looking at that as their answer. And when they find out, you know what, this is not the answer. And I've just really ruined.
Right. And then, I've heard stories of people that transition when they're like 50, and it's like, all right, man, and maybe it is the answer for them.
Yeah, but at that point,
it probably isn't the answer, if you know what I mean.
At that point, you're so comfortable with yourself,
right.
It just...
Well, and plus, we've talked about this before, as both men and women get older, they start to look more alike.
Yes, they do.
Like,
and ever since you've kind of put that in my brain,
it's true.
See it a lot more often.
It's true. Put a little cute little wig on Mitch McConnell. Yeah. Kind of looks like an old lady.
Yep.
Now, that was one of the things I said.
Okay.
The other thing I said is you can call this, didn't start with a news company. This started and didn't start with Senator Tuberville. Mm-hmm. This started with a father of a daughter going to space camp, and he posted on the Book of Faces. And my basic point is a parent, that father in particular, I imagine, doesn't give a damn what you call him.
Nope.
Or your moral shaming or any of that. And this is, I think we've lost touch with some of the basics.
I agree.
Like a parent can be wrong about their child or can be wrong about a person in the sense that they're trying to protect their child. But do not underestimate how ingrained that is in the back of somebody's brain to protect their kid at all costs.
It's so
and don't mock it.
It's funny you bring that up. Again, with the grandkids, we were somewhere, the beach or somewhere, and there were kids playing, and when the kids got a little aggressive, well, Papa Bear just went over. I just snatched my the two grandkids, and it was just instinct. And honestly, a few minutes later, I was a little bit embarrassed about it because just instinct kicked in.
Yeah, so that's going on and continuing to go on. Tuberville doubling down on
I'm
that.
glad.
But you're also, and yeah, people aren't giving up. It's more a Huntsville-centric story being Space Camp, but it has gone national, international now. But breaking news that happened this morning, the House of Representatives, Eddie, has voted to ban TikTok.
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Bunch of old scared fools. One.
But what about the Chinese?
Two. Hold on.
Okay. Oh,
Two is, and it's going to happen in more industry now. Two is, the Chinese have got a product that the Americans can't beat. So what do? We sue them and we get them kicked out. It's happening with TikTok. And we all know, honestly, I think there's an age difference. I'm very comfortable with that. TikTok takes my data. So does Facebook. So does everybody.
Well, and here's what I think is also at play. I agree with your 2 points.
Well, I got one more point.
Oh, 3 points.
3 points. I have a drone that's made by China, DJI, one of the best companies in the world. They're trying to do the same thing with that. And the reason, American companies can make the same drone, but it costs 3 to 5 times the cost. Well, I can't beat them, so I take them to court. And that's what they're doing.
And the Chinese warned, they put out a statement in English saying if they do this, this will come back to bite the United States. And I'm like, what does that mean exactly? I don't think the Chinese are just following logic. I think that is a veiled threat.
All of a sudden, you go after American companies that might be in China.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's.
No, the common knowledge is they're already doing that.
Yeah.
That's one aspect of Vivek Ramaswamy's story that I really appreciated, that he goes over there thinking we're going to make a big buck in China. And as he's running that company, he realizes, I need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
This is not going to go well. But here's what I think is going on. Has the federal government ever, in the name of national security, suggested we need to have the power to do a certain thing because of some foreign element?
Certainly.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while, right? It started, and by the way, wonder, where did our liberty go? This is John Adams with the Alien and Sedition Acts, that you can't speak ill of the president because it might, sow discord in the population, damn the First Amendment. Right. Now, if it had been a state governor who wanted to ban somebody's speech, that was still allowed back then. The First Amendment only applied to the Congress, to the federal government. But they did it anyway, because words on paper don't mean anything if the men you set in benches and seats of power don't actually enforce the words on the paper. It's always a government of men, no matter how much we try to go for the ideal of the rule of law. So it's in our history. Laws still on the books that are being used today, like the Espionage Act. Yeah. Woodrow Wilson locked up people that were protesting against the draft, in particular because they were reading the Declaration of Independence outside draft offices. They locked up one guy who threw out anti-war pamphlets out his window, I think in New York City or some big city, and they arrested him. Thing is, they were all written in Yiddish.
Not only that, we do that all the time. We
Right.
put that stuff out all the time.
All the time. And so let's go to the more modern era of what's going on. Has the federal government ever said we need to take this certain action that might infringe on somebody's liberties, in particular, say, property rights and ownership in this case that we're talking about with TikTok, but in the name of fighting some foreign threat, we need to do certain things? The Patriot Act, I think, fits that.
Not only that, Joey, these are the same jackasses who made us get, or tried to make us all get COVID shots.
That fits.
I got nothing for them. I can't believe a liar is a liar is a liar.
Right.
I can't go, hey, he's telling the truth this time. No, you've lied to me before. Therefore, I no longer trust you.
No, and I named the title of our live stream, and again, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe, or at the Joey Clark on the X platform. Would love a follow. They're both great ways to watch. But I named this live stream, Leaders Today Are Either Imbeciles or Machiavellians. What do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean by that. Is like, you either are so dumb you really think the government as written in the Constitution is actually how things operate, or you realize that the government we have is more based on, say, the Administrative Act of 1946 than it is the Declaration. And so you play the game accordingly, as a practical politician would. I don't necessarily begrudge a smart, clever person who sees through all the pomp and circumstance and all the philosophical poetry we throw at people at inaugurations or at State of the Unions, and then just tried to get work done for their interests, for their community's interests, these sorts of things. But it's such a bad time where you are either a Machiavellian or an imbecile. So let's be Machiavellian, shall we? Because I don't think it's smart to be dumb, though. I guess there's some bliss in that ignorance. Yeah, some days I do wish I was as dumb as a dog. There are moments where, and don't get me wrong, I'm already fairly dumb. So let's be Machiavellian. Let's think several steps through.
All right.
That the literal thing that they're putting out there, the formal official explanation they're putting out of why we're banning TikTok, can we take a moment and go, that's probably bullcrap, because we've seen American history, especially recent American history. There is a ratchet effect where they get one power, and then down the road, there's a precedent set. So there are already folks on the Twitter today, after the House of Representatives put this out, saying that it's in the law that it is up to the determination of the president whether a company is directed or influenced by a foreign adversary. Now, there are folks saying, well, but we clearly define what foreign, what that means in the law. I'm like, well, clearly define what that means in the law. Isn't it always subject to going to court? How many times didn't Biden just get rid of all sorts of student loans after being told no over and over again?
We were told he can't do it. Don't worry about it.
And so how far-fetched would it be to say, hey, Elon Musk is doing the bidding of the Russians. Elon Musk is doing the bidding of the Chinese. Or anybody else for that matter.
Oh, did you put it out there to an ignorant American public? Sure. They'll pick it right up.
Well, because they're going to be imbeciles. They're going to be literal-minded about it. Or I think the vast majority of Americans are more incapable of supporting themselves and living independent lives for the most part, but they're just so busy with life.
That's the killer.
They don't have time to pay attention, or they're just so jaded. They're like, they're all crooks and liars.
Another prime example.
So there's no hope. It's like black pill sort of thing.
Exactly.
But this seems exactly where this will probably go. This is, since the internet started to become such a huge influence, they've wanted their hooks in this.
Yeah. And it's
especially when Trump won.
It's only going to get worse.
And it's only going to get worse. And who's they? I think it's Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
Why this is bipartisan. Again, some of the dummies up there in Congress. And here's the thing. You could be a high IQ individual who's able to do all sorts of amazing things better than Eddie or I or most of us listening. And yet on certain matters, you can be a real dumbass. Also, and I think there are a lot of folks who take it at face value.
Sure.
This is the obvious official reason.
They can be misinformed. That's what's so bad. I can tell you something, and instead of you checking it out, well, Eddie told me this is the truth, and I'm taking it to the...
Right.
Eddie might be getting paid by somebody on the backside to put that in your head.
And I think it is foolish if somebody entertains this idea, we'll be able to keep that part of the law in check. No president will use that authority.
Never have.
Mm-hmm.
Never have.
Well, all of a sudden, for instance, ever since Elon bought Twitter and changed it to X, how many different regulatory agencies, because they're scientific and nonpartisan, right? But it's interesting how these scientific, nonpartisan organizations, whether it's the Securities and Exchange Commission or the Trade Commission, all these, let's go down the list, all the things that Elon's dealing with right now with his companies, multiple companies. Is it a coincidence? Just a coincidence that all of them are going after him heavy-handed right now?
Throw one more on there. They've released the unions on him.
Yeah.
I say it like it is. They've released the unions.
They're playing with fire there.
Yep.
Because Elon, he'll figure out a way to have robots doing everything.
Right. And it's, honest to God, automotive manufacturing is not that far away from 100%.
Right. And what he's doing with some of those gigafactories is... Right. And I think it's great. I mean, it's not necessarily great for the worker, but... Yeah, but it's
they can always go learn to code.
My point is there's no such thing as coincidences.
Yeah.
And so what's the official on the books law, whether you're talking about the Declaration, which I think was the first law passed by the first Congress, or the actual Constitution itself, or you're talking about all the esoteric laws that, unless you're an administrative lawyer, which means you're slightly insane, you're probably not even going to understand it. And they're going to continue to manipulate. So out of fear of China, let's get rid of TikTok, but also get our hooks for the future ready to go against anybody else that challenges us. I don't love this
No.
by any means.
And with those laws, it's when they choose to enforce them. The laws are on the books. Joey can break the law. We let it go. Elon Musk break that same law where we're going after him. And then they'll tell you there's no difference. There's no two-tier injustice. Huh?
Yeah, of course there is. Now, that brings me to the hearing yesterday.
Okay.
With Robert Hur.
Oh, yeah, I watched part of that.
And I have to say, there are folks who are giving all their reactions, but after watching a few of the clips, I have to say, I'm with Hur.
Me too, because he pissed off both sides.
Exactly.
I know he did something right.
Exactly
That's
right.
how I see it.
Yes, and he seemed like he wasn't like Mueller, who seemed like senile.
Not at all.
This guy seemed very much in his right mind and capable, height of his powers even. And a lot of folks are like, well, you're a Republican, aren't you? I think Hank Johnson.
A couple times.
Real galaxy brain there. Like Hank Johnson really, you're a member of the Federalist Society, right? It's like, yeah. Like, but he's not actually.
I thought he said he wasn't, but he did go back and say, well, he was put in power by put in place by Donald Trump.
And then you have the Republicans saying, well, but I mean, if Biden clearly kept these documents knowingly, why didn't you charge him? And I think Hur's point is, it would be brought to a jury in D.C. I've done a lot of these cases, and no jury's going to convict Joe Biden.
I get that, but as an American that's pissed at Joe Biden, I also say, okay, in your opinion, yes, it won't happen.
Yeah, but
damn it, do it anyway.
But for political reasons, it's actually, again, let's not be imbeciles and think of the literal. Let's think like Machiavellians. This is like the best of both worlds for both parties. Because both of them now are able to, with a fairly straight face, to bitch about it and go back to their voters and rile them up. So everybody gets to be upset. It's kind of like with this recent immigration deal that fell through. Everybody gets their talking points out of it.
He did make the statement that he did not exonerate him.
Right.
And so to me, when I heard that, I was like, well, wait.
Yeah, but he didn't confirm, he's as guilty as sin either.
He still played it right down the middle, which...
Right.
In his spot, I understand that, but again,
that's what a good prosecutor does.
Right.
He's not the judge and jury.
Exactly, and that's why I thought it was a hot line drive down the middle. Nobody caught it because he pissed off both sides.
Right. Now, is it unfair that Trump is being pursued over a documents case, and Biden gets let free? No, it's not fair.
It's not fair at all. But I think the two-tier system.
Right, and Biden, by the way, had stuff that went back to in the 70s and 80s.
He didn't hold it for a week or so.
Right. And so he was very much a young man in his right mind back then. And then some of the stuff, and this is just icky, comes out. The press conference Biden gave where he got very upset, almost like it seemed like a genuine moment how angry he was. Mm-hmm. How dare they bring up my son and the death of my son?
I do remember that.
And when they asked me that question, I said, it's none of their damn business. And I remember the exact... Well, it turns out when you look at the transcript, they didn't ask him that question.
Right.
Biden just brought it up.
Totally different than the spin we got on it originally.
Yeah. And then the Democrats came up with something saying, well, it's in 2015. I remember he died in 2015. And then you look at the full quote of this transcript. It's like, at first he starts saying, was it 2018, 2017? And then his lawyer corrects him, it's 2015. And he's like, oh, yeah, 2015. Yeah, man, really... within his wits.
No.
Now, the other breaking news this morning is a judge has dismissed 6 counts against Trump in the Fannie Willis case.
Fat Fannie.
I think it's over 40 if you include all the other parties that they said are part of Trump's conspiracy.
Yeah.
So 40 counts thrown out the window, essentially.
A little erosion happened.
Doesn't mean the case is fully over. I only had a short little time with Judge Napolitano yesterday, which is frustrating, but because there's a lot legally going on I'd like to talk about.
A lot of things going on with that case, but it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems the powers that be are doing all they can do to keep Fannie and just let this go.
Keep her afloat?
Mm-hmm. And just let this go.
Think she's buoyant?
Yeah, with a booty like that? Yeah.
Don't be shaming that.
I'm not.
It's a real thing.
It's
a good thing.
As a scuba diver, I've noticed women with booties like that have to wear a little bit more weight when we scuba dive.
Right, skinny women. Well, they're great too. I love women. I have all their albums. 272-9228. Even the ones that hate me.
Those are the ones that are easiest to love.
Those are the ones you usually end up marrying.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to hit this break.
Right.
But first, this part of the program,
Yeah.
brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, men, as you get older, two things start to happen. One can be performance issues like erectile dysfunction, like it just ain't working.
It can happen.
And that's no fun. It used to work all the time when I even wanted to work.
Right.
Now it's just not working. Or it could be, as you get older, low testosterone. And these are not things to deny, put off, be ashamed about. It's not something to wait to get fixed. And I know fellas hate going to the doctor. I do too. But Montgomery Men's Health was created just for guys like us. So if you're walking around and you feel a lack of motivation, a lack of drive, including sex drive, a lack of energy, just feel like you're walking through life in a fog as you're gaining weight, like fat and losing muscle, well, knowing whether you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues. And in fact, there are a lot of guys walking around who don't know they're suffering from low T. And that could be the worst because, you're a guy who doesn't want to go to the doctor.
Right.
You feel like crap, but you're like, well, I'll just power through.
What guys
and
do.
the problem just festers.
Yep.
That's why you got to get by Montgomery Men's Health. The providers there will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have treatments there, low T treatments at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
You can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car. No matter what it is, no matter where you got it, we'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Camry LE MSRP 30,958, 12,000 miles per year for 36-month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage, plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 dock fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your market report. How is the real estate market and what does 2024 hold for us? Last year, over 4,700 homes sold and closed through realtors, and the average sales price was $245,000. People who have owned real estate over the last 2 to 3 years have profited by keeping their homes and now have more equity in their home than ever. The people who listed their homes with realtors were able to find ready and willing buyers that paid at or above their asking price. Mortgage companies and local builders have found ways to overcome higher rates with attractive programs that allow for low-cost refinancing when the rate drops. Some of the local mortgage companies have new programs that help buyers with low down payment programs, such as one program with 1% down or even less. If you haven't bought a house yet, now is the time. For all the information, call Bo Goodson at 221-2883 or the Goodson Group at 551-0225.
This April, spring into mountains of fun during our Winning Rovers giveaway at Wind Creek, Wetumpka. You have 2 chances to win big, so come play throughout March and April to earn entries. The excitement begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday, April 13th, and again on Saturday, April 27th, when you can win cash, free play, or drive off in a 2024 Land Rover Defender, exclusively at Wind Creek, Wetumpka. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and on the Casinoverse app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
I got hairy legs.
I got worms.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey, he's Eddie.
How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing all right, surviving. I can't believe you haven't made a comment about my hat and about my outfit. It looks like I'm about to go golfing.
Okay.
What does it look like? Go ahead.
Gonna go herd some sheep.
Herd some sheep?
Look like you're fixing to head to Ireland and herd some sheep.
A sheep herder?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's accurate.
That was being nice. The herding.
You mean like?
I'm just being nice.
I'm not that lonely.
Well.
Let's go to Urbanite. Don't stop talking to you right now. Hey, Urbanite.
How you doing, great one? Here's the question. Could this be a DC shakedown?
The TikTok thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Exactly
That's
right.
what I'm feeling. And here's the question. I would love to know the dollars and cents on how much we actually get out of TikTok. Because here's the deal. I'm not going to feel bad for them. If they're incorporated in some other country and we're getting like pennies on a dime for that business, because I know all the talk was to drive the stock down. It's common sense to me. All the nasty talk was to drive the stock down.
Mm-hmm.
And since the stock ain't moving, they're playing hardball now, which means we get rid of you and we make a company that's just like you, because we can expect that to come, I would say, within the next month if TikTok does get put out of business.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
you can look
a big part of
for
this.
somebody coming. Yeah, but it's so obvious to me that it's a shakedown. But here's the deal. I mean, there is some truth to it, because I purposely tried to change my algorithm by going dislike and purposely put it up like controversial type topics, so that I start getting some liberal views. And it's amazing how many videos I started getting of all our heroes like Candace Owens and Kennedy and what's that guy's name, Shapiro, who are darn good debaters, as you know.
Right.
But there are little groups out there where somebody got the best of them, and if your algorithm is skewed to liberal, you'll get the reports from the people who got the best of those people.
Yeah, it's gotten worse but I always think of the line Bill Burr gave to Conan. It's like, oh, you and your politics, you just go to imright.com and it's gotten, you don't even have to go to a website now. It's just curated for you.
Oh, okay. You think Alabama is going to get out of this latest thing with the trans thing? You think we're smart enough not to walk into this publicity trap this time?
No, and I don't know if I agree with the premise, but to answer your question directly, no.
Okay. What would be the premise? What was the premise you were getting out of what
That this is necessarily some huge trap.
Okay. Well, okay. I mean, is it a nothing burger? It's a nothing burger to me.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's a Huntsville story, and I think it's an interesting story from the point of view of a parent looking out for the kid and this new world we're now in. I don't know with Coach Tuberville continuing to double down on it. I'm not surprised, but I think it should be a Huntsville story where the folks there in Huntsville, like if I was in Dale Jackson's position, yeah, we would be talking about this pretty seriously.
Gotcha.
But is it like with Eddie, the person who was uncomfortable, and it's like, okay, you're uncomfortable, so what? It's just you. Is it one of those situations, maybe?
No, I think he was uncomfortable, and I imagine other people are as well, but some people aren't going to say anything. They're just going to get their kid and walk out.
Well, and I'll put it this way, Urbanite, on college campuses, they have segregated dorms in terms of men and women. And the people that are the monitors that run the halls, it ain't a guy running the women's dorm.
And what does that say
guys to women's prison?
And what does that say to your generation? Because in my day, we had just gotten into co-ed dorms when I was in college. I was in school in 82 and 83, 4. And we had just started doing it. And Alabama was like 20 years late on that one.
And that's college, and I remember being at the University of Alabama visiting friends, and it was definitely co-ed. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. But also you got to keep in mind, these are kids like age 9 to 18. So, if they're minors, people tend to be even more protective, and I think rightfully so.
I don't have a problem with people doing their own thing, but go do your own thing somewhere else. Not there.
I agree with you, Eddie, but here's the deal. Doing your thing your own way or whatever, and I get that, because I've been thrown off a couple of times with people standing in front of me who I didn't know they were male or female. I just didn't drop the pronoun. I just, like that thing they used to do on Saturday Night Live with that, what was that character that had the girl's boy name?
Pat.
What's that? It's Pat?
Yeah, I just did a thing. I just did a Pat thing, and I just called him customer or thank you, and was on.
Right. But Chris Farley confirmed Pat is a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all knew that, but it was a funny video, and it
was great for a while.
And it was so ahead of its time.
Yeah. It really was.
It really was.
Well,
and I don't know what the hell was waiting for me. He had purple hair, and
I know. Yep, I know.
All right, take care.
Later, buddy. Hey, back to the TikTok thing before I forget.
Yeah.
Trump is not for this bill.
Right.
All the Republicans.
I've got a clip we could find, but
all the Republicans that are, hey, we love some Trump. Where are you at now? And I worry that when Trump gets in, these are the kind of Republicans we're going to deal with.
Right. I think Trump's nuanced opinions, he doesn't really feel that strongly about it, and he tried to offer it up to the Congress to do something about it during his time, and they kind of sat on it. He didn't really push it that much. And now he's thinking of it in terms of competition. He's like, I don't want Facebook to lose competition.
Right.
I don't like Zuckerberg.
Not fair.
Right. So we'll see where all that goes. All the intrigue. Yeah, there's the government side of this, the legal side of this. What precedents are you setting? What powers are you giving to the government? There's the business side of this, as Urbanite brought up. Who's making money off of this scheme, this fire sale, essentially? There's a lot of different angles. Something this high profile, and when it's bipartisan the way it is, makes me go, something stinky. Something stinky's afoot.
With TikTok, you're younger than me. Besides Reels, who is their competition? Are there other sites like that out there?
Like TikTok?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm an old fart.
Well, I think Elon kind of wants to make
Twitter's
it that way.
Starting to. That's right.
Facebook and YouTube are trying to do that.
And
actually, they are pretty addictive. The shorts are very addictive once you get into them.
But I don't think Elon is threatened by TikTok.
No. I don't.
There's the difference.
He's the honey badger, baby, bringing back that term. Hey, let's go to Erica Thomas, welcoming her back to the show. Hey, Erica, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm surviving. That's the word I think I'll use. Surviving today. But can we start off with that big boom that happened in your neck of the woods?
Oh yeah, that was another big boom. I say this all the time since I've moved down here about a year and a half ago. There's always some sort of big boom going on. Everybody's talking about it. But this time it was an innocent big boom. It was a positive thing. NASA landed its SpaceX capsule.
Oh, that's cool.
In the Gulf of Mexico, and we felt it and heard it down here.
Like, seriously, what did it sound like, kind of feel like?
Well, I don't know, because the only thing that woke me up was my dogs barking. They, lost their minds, and my first thought was, oh my gosh, somebody's breaking in my house. You know, I always go to worst case scenario, always, especially when I'm waking up in the middle of the night.
Oh.
And so I was just getting ready for war, and then I heard nothing. So then I didn't realize what it was until the next day, because I have really been out of the loop lately.
Sure.
I had back surgery, so I've kind of been out of it. This is my first day back to radio, and I'm so thankful. But that was very disturbing to have that happen in the middle of my recovery.
Well, and I'm glad. It sounds like the surgery went well, and you sound like yourself, so that's a very good thing.
Yes, it did. It went very well. I'm actually 2 inches taller now than I have been in my life,
wow,
in my adult life.
You had that much compression going on back there?
Yes, it was that bad. So that's the positive part of that. There really isn't a negative part. My surgeon in Mobile did amazing. I can feel my left leg again, so I'm just looking forward to full recovery. I'm going to be doing all the things, all of them.
Now, being down there in South Alabama, are you excited, especially around the coast? Are you excited for spring break season? Do you like it when all the tourists and all that? I mean, it gets crazy down there, very crowded.
Well, thankfully, there's DoorDash and Instacart and all these things. So I couldn't go out in the traffic if I wanted to right now. I can't drive for at least another month. But last year, I found out very quickly that traffic is the biggest issue when it comes to spring break.
Yeah.
Of course, I look forward to it because my neighbors, local business owners, the city that, closest to me, they are going to be benefiting big time for this whole month for spring break. And so I welcome any visitors. I'm thankful for them. They're what keeps a lot of things going, not only in Baldwin County, but statewide. There's a lot of revenue that comes through this and goes back to the rest of the state. So I'm extremely thankful they're here, but I will not be visiting with them.
Amen. I hear that. But I'm seeing also here that, a lot's been made of that story. Went national, the Carly Russell story. It looks like she's ready to do a plea agreement, right?
Yes. So as far as the municipal charges, which she was convicted of last year, she and just so everybody remembers, I'm sure they do, but she's the girl that said she saw the baby on the side of the interstate on 459 and ended up being a whole hoax. None of it was real. She acted like she was kidnapped.
Right.
So she was convicted of that in the city of Hoover. But then she was going to take it further and appeal it with the state, and they had a trial date set for that. But that trial was canceled, and now they've put in place a plea hearing. So we're expecting her to plead guilty to the charges, and we'll see what happens. Of course, a lot has happened since this. The state of Alabama said, hey, you know what, we need to toughen our rules for people that are reporting a false crime. Let's make that a felony. And so we'll see what happens with that as well.
Now, before I let you go here, I want to, pick your brain on the I would say the reaction to Senator Katie Britt on the national stage. I've made my opinion quite known. It was a little, this is what I get to do for 1819, do opinions, but what's your sense of just the speech and the reaction to it, seeing our junior senator up there on the national stage?
Well, for me, I have to take it all the way back to the beginning when Katie Britt was campaigning for the Senate seat. And I remember the first time I ever saw her speak. She is extremely passionate.
Oh, yeah.
She just is that way. But sometimes people, when you first get to know them or first see them, you're like, and I'm a skeptic anyway. I don't believe anybody. I mean, I don't believe anybody. I don't trust anybody, especially, people that are trying to take charge of things. I feel uncomfortable about that. But the first time I ever saw her speak, I thought, man, she seems like a cheerleader to me. I was a cheerleader. I know you're kind,
I think, by the way, I know for a fact you're accurate about that.
Yeah. But I understand the criticism, and I think she does too. And as soon as she accepted to do that response, she had to have known that there was going to be some criticism that came with it. And she is strong. She is made of steel, so that's fine. As you get to know Katie Britt and as you see her speak more and more and the things that she's done, I think people would be able to open up to her a little bit more and understand her more, because this really is how she is. Like, she was being 100% herself. I think she was a little bit nervous during the speech, but who wouldn't be? But she did a great job, and really we need to focus on what she was saying and not her delivery, because what she was saying was extremely important. And especially the fact that they've taken the story about the lady that she met at the border and blown that out of proportion.
Yeah.
I think that's extremely unfortunate. We're talking about human trafficking. This stuff is happening now in the U.S., in our backyard, right down the road from where I live. This stuff is happening. People don't realize what's going on in their own backyards, and I think if they did, they would have taken this speech a little bit more seriously. The point was, we need to have more secure borders so these things don't happen in America, and that's that.
Yeah, and I took it as that's one woman's example, the story she told of how awful and what happens, and she was one of the ones that was able to get away. The numbers are astounding. It's a huge business. It is a huge toll on people, and it's just depraved and evil. And I was a little shocked by the flippancy at which, but that's America. That's partisan America these days. But I always appreciate your time, Erica. Great to hear your voice again. Great the surgery went well. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
Please check out 1819news.com, and you can email me at news@1819news.com.
Well, next week, talking then. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Again, Erica Thomas with 1819 News. We got to hit this break. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We've been enjoying a string of pretty nice days this week, but we do have a late week storm system on the way. Today, though, the warming trend continues, high 76 with a good bit of sun mixed in with some clouds. The nights are also starting to moderate. Tonight slowed down to about 50. We'll be near 80 on Thursday with a good bit of sun. The risk of scattered showers and storms returning after midnight on Thursday night. Widespread rain and storms on Friday, and periods of showers and storms over the weekend. Rainfall totals could be excessive. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
Hi, this is Sharon with the Depot Furniture Gallery. Choosing to advertise with Blue Water was an easy decision to make. Our goal was to increase sales, and they reached the audience that we wanted to connect with. Our sales rep has been great to work with, and we couldn't be happier with the results.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, Eddie, I brought this up yesterday. I'd love your take on it, though. What do you make of all these printing presses shutting down, including Montgomery Advertiser itself?
Oh, I'm not a fan of the Advertiser. I hate we're losing a local paper, but they're not been local for I don't know how long. But I do remember back in the day when those printing presses there, a lot of dumping of the fluid straight out.
Oh, yeah, the whole Superfund thing.
I ain't got over that, man.
Yeah?
So, see ya.
Well, where else were they supposed to put it?
I don't know, ask DOT. Oh, wait, they did the same thing.
Yeah, where else were they supposed to put it?
Well, they figure they put it far enough from the river, nobody will notice. But
I was about to say, could it be up your...
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Now, the other story that I have yet to comment on, because, well, I'm just not surprised, but the Haitian prime minister announces he'll resign as gang boss Barbecue declares a quote-unquote bloody revolution.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guy's no joke.
No.
What do you think we could... What do you do in a situation like that? If you wanted Haiti to be a free nation, how do you deal with Barbecue?
Well, the way American would deal with it, we'd go to him and try to make him a deal.
Right.
And
well, let's build a big new soccer complex.
We'll tell him you can take my gold or you can take my lead, but one way or the other, we're doing the business together.
Right.
But the problem has been the Clintons have done that for how long?
Right.
And if you remember, I think if you look at Haiti, there's a big part of that island that's not Haiti. You got the DR.
Oh, the Dominican Republic.
It's right there. They share that land.
Ooh.
And the DR are not fans of the Haitians because they don't want that kind of lawlessness there.
Right. Well,
that's where I see a big problem's going to happen.
And you see these places poverty-stricken because they are run by warlords.
Yep.
There's no, even with the government they had, what property rights?
No.
That's what they need. They need property rights. They need basic rule of law. And I think, you don't start up by, let's have a vote. No, I think you got to take care of barbecue.
Yeah, you do. There's no doubt in my mind.
Before anything happens. And it is remarkable how we get all exercised over the fact that the Russians are this way or the Chinese are this way, like the near-peer competitors, the other great powers, so to speak. But, an island nation right on our own back door that has been a basket case for a long, long time.
Forever.
We're just like,
but
not a big deal.
At what point?
Same thing with Mexico. Same thing with so much.
But at
right
what
around
point,
us.
as your average American, I got to be honest, I don't care.
Right.
I've seen so much of my blood and treasures go there and do nothing. Sorry, I don't care anymore. I got to worry about me and mine.
Right.
And
Well,
yours.
some geostrategic thinkers might say this is all kind of what a land power does. Now, we're both a land and naval power ever since we, see the shining sea.
That's us.
But we're acting like both. Look at how we mostly are wanting to control, say, China in particular. Or it's how we project power into the Middle East. It's how we project power, especially now with more of the Nordic countries in NATO. You create a naval periphery. We're an air and sea power in that regard. We're not a traditional land power because we've conquered essentially our hemisphere. We're able to project all this, but you just control everybody in the periphery. That first island chain, say, in the east, that, Taiwan's a big part of there. But if you're a land power, and this is what I'm not surprised Russia does, what they do with Georgia, what they did with Ukraine, is you really don't want your neighbors to be that strong. You want them to kind of be basket cases. So when I see how much of a basket case Mexico is, continues to be, how much Haiti and so many other countries to the south of us continue to be, part of me is like, yeah, that's those countries' own faults for their own unique reasons, but we're more than happy to let it sort of fester.
Yeah,
because it's not truly a threat to us yet.
It's not a threat. We like to do nation building, but we like to do nation building on the other side of the ocean.
Now, and then you look to the north, and Canada is one of the weirdest damn places. My friends up there in Boston said they did a trip up to Quebec. They said it is a different country.
It's very.
Everybody's French. They don't want to speak English.
No, they don't like you.
Yeah, they
don't like you.
French disdain is pretty damn funny.
Yes.
But I saw this story that Canada has now passed a law. It's a Canadian law that would allow judges to hand down life sentences for speech crimes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And now they say it's only for calling for a genocide. But when, say, a conservative commentator goes, this whole transgender ideology needs to go away, this is not helping anybody, people have called that genocidal.
So we got opinions that can influence whether you go to jail for life or not.
And I've been sort of jokingly supporting this for a while. I think we should go to war with Canada. Remind them who's actually boss here.
Yeah.
And there was an omen that said, maybe it's not a joke, Jack. Not a joke.
I think.
No. As I'm seeing this news, that the Canadian law would even be able to hand down life sentences for speech crimes, the first ever bald eagle nest found in Toronto.
Oh, America coming over there?
It's an omen that we need to buckle up.
I think Canada's suffering from a lot what U.S. is, and I think they are fixed to come out of it too. They've let their feelings make policy, and I hate to say it, but feelings don't make for good policy. And they've got a guy that's coming up through the ranks that's kind of showed these guys what a fraud Trudeau is and these policies. And I think they're heading for a change.
We'll see. And it's a beautiful country, and it's not that populated.
Most Canadians that I've ever dealt with, great folks.
Yes. Well, and America isn't that foreign to them. We're not, honestly, we're not that different.
They're America's top hat.
Right, but we're not that different. That's why Canadians come and join American culture and be in American media and entertainment, and they don't skip a beat.
Well, I took a good friend of mine, I took a friend of mine from Hyundai to Canada one time. We went to Detroit, and you look across the river, and there's Canada. And I was like, hey, Larry, that's Canada over there. He looked for a second and goes, no, it's not. I go, Larry, I know you're from Alabama and all, but that's Canada. Said, it looks just like here, Eddie.
Yeah, man. Most places look like places.
Well, I really blew his mind. I said, we're going to get on that bridge and we're going to head south to Canada.
Goodness gracious. Let's hit a break. More news and views. Second hour coming up here on a Wednesday.
Joey Clark.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Biden and former President Trump have clinched their party's presidential nominations with decisive victories in a slate of low-profile primaries, setting up a general election rematch. The outcome of contests Tuesday in Georgia, Mississippi, and Washington state was never in doubt. President Vladimir Putin says that Russia is ready to use nuclear weapons if its sovereignty or independence is threatened. It was another blunt warning to the West just days ahead of an election in which the Russian leader is all but certain to win another 6-year term. The House passing a bill that would lead to a nationwide ban on the popular video app TikTok if its China-based owner doesn't sell. That bill now heads to the Senate. The Dow had 171 points, the NASDAQ losing 41. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We've been enjoying a string of pretty nice days this week, but we do have a late week storm system on the way. Today, though, the warming trend continues, high 76 with a good bit of sun mixed in with some clouds. The nights are also starting to moderate. Tonight slowed down to about 50. We'll be near 80 on Thursday with a good bit of sun. Risk of scattered showers and storms returning after midnight on Thursday night. Widespread rain and storms on Friday, and periods of showers and storms over the weekend. Rainfall totals could be excessive. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Former Alabama head coach Nick Saban spoke at a NIL roundtable in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Saban remarked that college football is headed towards a caste system where success is based on how much college programs pay players. Saban said all the things he believed in no longer exist in college athletics. The Alabama House of Representatives has given the green light to House Bill 238, a controversial piece of legislation that adds a $10.64 tax on every prescription filled in the state. As the bill advances in the legislature, its implications to the detriment of the people of Alabama are being realized. The Kiwanis Club of Montgomery announced Wednesday it is presenting more than $339,000 in grants to organizations that help children in the river region. The money was raised during last year's Alabama National Fair, which the Kiwanis Club has presented at Garrett Coliseum since 1954. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The Veterans Access to Care bill now in the Alabama State Legislature will relieve the overwhelmed federal VA healthcare system and provide the specially tailored care that veterans need.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
In the house.
And we got some calls coming in, so let's go to, Red Top. Hey, Red Top. How you doing today, sir?
Man, what a beautiful day. And, I work miracles, Joey. You wouldn't believe how good David's house looks. I bet looks like it's worth $50,000 more dollars. That's how big a difference what I do make. But, according to NTD News this morning, which is extremely reliable on their newest report, they call them front corporations, which they say United States used to be the king at establishing all over the world. We established a corporation to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Chinese have beat us at it. And I'll tell you how they have opened a new company in the past 3 weeks named, I do believe it's Seagrand. You can fact check me on that. But they guarantee delivery without interruption. And they have deals worked out with all the Arab countries where nobody's going to fire on those Chinese ships that are carrying cargo, and they're carrying it cheaper. This goes for oil tankers and everything. Obviously, they've made a deal with Lloyd's of London and all the big insurers.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Now, secondly, United States has formed no coalition for protecting ships. There are 3 different groups. EU has got their own group protecting. United States has got their own protecting. And now India has sent its Navy in to protect its ships. So they say Blinken has completely failed. He has gotten nobody to work with him.
I see what you're saying, but also the de facto ruler of the wave still is the United States Navy. And those other countries that you mentioned are doing more, which I think is a good thing. But the U.S. Navy is still the one that really runs the blue water, let's just say.
And they are spending a $3 million missile to bring down a $1,500 drone.
Right. Well, and apparently, real quick, the other day, I think one of the ships there in the Mediterranean, it got real close. A drone hitting to where it was their emergency, like those fast guns, the Gatling guns they have on there, had to take it out. Ooh.
Yeah. Just another case that our troops are sitting ducks.
Yeah.
When that ship got attacked the other day and some crew members were actually killed for the first time, I do believe that was at the end of last week.
Mm-hmm.
If any coalition had any balls whatsoever, it would have been time to say bye-bye. So I don't see how these guys in Yemen get away with this stuff. There's something wrong with this whole damn picture, and it's called Joe Biden. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Appreciate it, Red Top. 272-9228. Now, a little change of pace in a second, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro. Well, they do wonderful work, and that's why they've grown leaps and bounds over the last few years. I mean, you know firsthand, Eddie, how great they are.
Actually, talked to Jonathan yesterday. He came by the Airbnb, checked on me for me, did a little bit of spraying. And honestly, my big concern was ants, black ants.
Mm-hmm.
The house wasn't occupied for a while before we got it, so there was an issue when we got it, and I'd let them know that up front. It's like, this is what I'm having a problem with. I think they've sprayed 3 times since December. I haven't seen any ants inside at all.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I'm telling you, black ants they're a nuisance, is what they are.
Yeah, they're not going to hurt you, but they
you see
really
this line coming across.
Yeah, and it's a bad look.
So I told Jonathan yesterday when he came and sprayed again. I told him how much I appreciated him. I told him I'd give him a shout out on the radio today. Very professional, great. They called me ahead of time. I was already there, so we had a little conversation. And then before he left, he came and found me just to tell me, hey, everything's good. I got you set up. See you later.
And spring really has sprung.
Oh, dude. Skeeters.
The pollen is, but yeah, mosquitoes are coming back with a vengeance. Termites,
Yep.
Fire ants. Ooh.
Yep.
Wasps are going to be coming back with a vengeance.
Yep.
Every year I have to go to war with them in the back shed. Now, if it's a tiny nest, you probably do that yourself, but sometimes you need to realize, okay, I'm not man enough to handle that.
It's perfectly acceptable.
This is like industrial grade. We need the true pros.
Bring in the pros.
Pest Pro Services can help you with all of that, folks. So call them today. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or, well, just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those guys on the radio, sent you. Who do we got here?
We got Josh.
Hey, Josh, how you doing, sir?
Hey, good, Joey. That's you were speaking on a topic I was just going to call you about. No, they did the third final treatment for my elderly neighbor.
Yeah.
And it went from an infestation to nothing.
Excellent.
So they did a great thing. Jonathan came out there. He called me
He's the man.
freehand. Yeah, no, I just got to sing their praise.
Just Pest Pro really is awesome. And folks, by the way, I am not smart enough to plan a call like this to make it sound organic. This is just happening, all right?
No, I meant to call you yesterday, but no, they did an awesome job. They got a great crew, very knowledgeable. They called beforehand, and they give you a small time frame. I give you between noon and 5. They give you a short window when they're going to be there. Very, very, very productive.
Well, I appreciate you telling the public about that. Really do, Josh.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you later, my friend.
See you, Josh.
Man, that guy, we need to get
Yeah, I
with
know.
him someday to just eat, because he's a heck of a chef.
I see his pictures.
Not a cook. He's
No,
a
he's a
chef.
chef.
Like, that
Yeah,
guy's
he's a chef.
great.
We need to.
Well, you eat with your eyes first, too. And, like,
You
he
see
makes
the pictures he puts out
They're
there.
beautiful.
Whether it's fish or quail. It's amazing.
Steak. Yeah. Now, changing gears a lot here.
All right.
Because, we started the show talking about a parent's reaction.
Oh, yeah.
And whether you think it's right or wrong, a parent, I think, you should not underestimate a parent's instinct to protect their kid. So this is a story, I think, out of Texas. A Texas nurse, in fact.
Okay.
So there's this kid, her kid, and his sports drink that he, I guess took to school was stolen by this other kid. These are like 5th graders, I believe. And that, I mean, if you want to, I sometimes go back and forth on the original sin thing. I think I'm in the camp of, we definitely have it. Now, I think maybe at the end of the day, we're made perfectly free like God, and thus that gives us the ability to choose evil and good, and we're kind of a mix. But you see it in little kids to where he didn't have to be taught to steal anything.
Yeah, he wanted it and he took it.
He took it. And so what do you do as a parent? Like, again, I'm not a parent. My first instinct would be like, and the other, it may not work, but call the other kid's mom.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh, your kid's bad. Just be
No.
like, I just want you to know your son did this and you can deal with it however you want. That sort of thing is more, that's a light touch, right?
Right.
Light touch. Would you do anything?
I would probably mention something to the kid. I probably wouldn't say nothing to the parent.
You'd say, you go to the 5th grader direct.
Well, I just, if I would, I didn't witness it. I didn't see it. Just
Yeah.
the kid come, if the kid come home and told me, I'd probably tell my kid, punch him in the face when you see him tomorrow. We're good.
Well, this woman who's 45 and a nurse, her name is
grade, right?
5th grade.
Yeah, they can take a look.
Her name is Jennifer Lynn Rossi. Did you really just say that about a child?
You never got hit as a kid? How
Yeah, actually, I did. We'd
You
sneak
have
behind
to-
the hill and have fights.
You sow your own.
We got a broken nose one
Holly
time.
Garden, who did it right in the middle of the street.
But we were like kids, so I'm
Right.
like a big deal.
Yeah, not an adult hitting him, now
Right.
kids. You learn that.
Yeah, I think it was like 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the year of fights at recess. I don't know why it was.
Year of fights.
Yeah, which is probably the best grade to get that out of you.
It is. That's what I mean.
Because when you start fighting in high school, you tend to kill people.
Right, you have a
around them.
tendency to not know that edge.
Right. That said, this woman, she's 45.
Okay.
Again, she has a 5th grade son who had his sports drink stolen by another 5th grader, a boy. So Jennifer Lynn Rossi gave her son a way to get back at this kid. You said you would hit him or tell your son, just sock him in the face next time you see him.
Yeah.
No, she gave him, give him, because he's stealing your sports drink. Have this sports drink ready.
I was thinking this was going, yeah.
So she mixed Gatorade with lemon juice, salt, and vinegar, telling her son it would prank his alleged bully without harming him, because I'm a nurse.
Right, I know better.
But after spitting out the gross mixture, the 11-year-old boy who was given it then complained of feeling sick and having a headache and was taken to a local hospital.
Am I allergic?
Other 5th grade students also tried the drink and were checked by the school nurse. Although the contents of the drink were non-toxic, the incident resulted in a child being hospitalized, said the sheriff's office. Hospital staff informed the investigator that the child victim required additional medical monitoring and would eventually be discharged from the hospital. The woman, Jennifer Rossi, was arrested Tuesday and charged with injury to a child. She has since posted bond and is scheduled to have a pretrial in April. She told deputies she took full responsibility for the incident, maintaining that as a nurse, she knew it did not put the child in danger. So let's look at that concoction again. Gatorade. Okay. Lemon juice.
Okay.
So far, actually, that probably wouldn't even taste bad. Like Gatorade and lemon
It'd be
juice
a
might be a
little
little
bit
sour,
tart.
tart, yeah. But salt and vinegar. Yeah, is it actually? I'm wondering how healthy is it to just put back a bunch of vinegar?
Something else in there too, wasn't it?
That's
That was
it?
Well, with that vinegar, you could have a chemical reaction.
Ah.
But my idea was better. Just tell your kid punch him and nobody goes to jail. Yeah, and honestly, how many times have you been in a fight, and at the end of the fight, after you're in trouble, you become best friends?
That could work.
It just happens.
That could work.
It happens.
So the guy who was I got bullied, but it was the guy he just was this way with everybody, and I just happened to be sitting in front of him, and he would just continue to tickle me. So I should have turned around and socked him in the face, or should I just have done what I did and I kind of just ignored him?
No, I probably said something. I'd asked him a question or two first about his manliness, and then it probably would have escalated to punching.
Yeah, and looking back on it, it's kind of freaking funny. I'm like,
You don't
that's
need
kind of a
you don't
funny
need
bully.
Another man doesn't need to tickle another
I
man.
agree with you.
I mean, there's many levels of issues with that.
Well, wait, why is there a problem with that?
Well, first off, I don't like another man within touching distance of me. Two, I don't like another man.
I was
touching
thinking
me.
a new segment so we get viewership up on the live stream is tickle fights.
I'm not down with tickle.
You're not
down. I'm older. My
Yeah.
bladder's weaker. I'll probably pee.
So you think this mom was wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of overreact.
Yeah, don't give people any sort of thing to ingest.
Right. Well, let me give you a relatable
Because you
story.
don't know what the other person's got going on.
Let me tell you the lifestyle of Eddie Bader.
Okay.
So back in the day when Appleton Wire existed, that was a factory here in Montgomery, paid real well. We had somebody stealing lunches. Everybody'd go to the lunchroom, put your lunch in a big refrigerator.
Okay.
And so somebody was stealing somebody's lunches, and we had an idea who it was, but you can't ever prove these things. So we got this chemical, or not a chemical, it's went to a drugstore, got this stuff called Ipetat.
Ipetat.
Put about 3 drops of Ipetat on that sandwich, and it's tasteless and odorless.
Okay.
And we found out within about
Is it
5
like
minutes-
saline?
No. It induces vomiting immediately.
Ooh.
Within about 2 minutes. We found out who it was.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. No one got in trouble. No lunches were ever stolen. again.
Now, in high school, and I luckily just was like, I don't want brownies. For some reason, it was a day. Like,
hell is wrong with you?
I've never been a sweet tooth guy. I'm like, again, you put a plate of bacon cheese fries in front of me with ranch, I'll eat the whole damn thing, even if it is going to make me fatter than I already am. But so I've always been one to be like cake, brownie.
that's you, huh?
No ice cream. No, thank you. Like, this stuff's great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And it was high school. I think it was 11th or 12th grade. And this one girl, now a woman, I think lives here, so I won't say her name.
Okay.
Offered to me and a bunch of my friends, you want some brownies? And we're like, you cook brownies? Yeah, sure. They just ate them up.
Mm-hmm.
About a hour, or probably faster than that later.
Yeah.
They're on the public toilet in the school.
Oh, God.
She had mixed in laxatives that had chocolate elements, so it was kind of indescribable. Like, you couldn't tell if you're eating the brownie. It tastes like a brownie.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
But we got her back. She was scared of clowns, so we snuck at her house late one night and put a bunch of clown photos all over her car, facing inside like the house on the windows of her bedroom, and then set off, I think, a bottle rocket and got out of there. And that was fun. Like, don't be giving my friends laxatives.
Go to the weight room.
What would you have done? Socked her right in the face?
We had a friend of ours
Misogyny.
that we played pranks like that with, and she got me good. So I went to I had a friend of mine that worked at the movie theater, and I said, give me a week of leftover popcorn. And after she got her truck detailed, I opened the back window and filled her cab with popcorn.
No, you don't understand. This person was like deathly afraid of clowns.
You don't understand. This girl came to kick my butt at my house. It took my mom kind of getting her off of me.
Well, with some of those pranks, you're like, what we're gonna do is put sardines kind of underneath, and then, with some people, they wouldn't even discern the smell. They're that disgusting. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Miss Love.
Hey, Miss Love. How you doing?
Oh, God is able. I know what happened one day. It was here in Montgomery, and that person worked for the state. And they used to could bring their lunch and had this nice refrigerator to put it in. And this particular person brought lunch, and someone ate it. So that person said, well, maybe she needed it worse than me, but I sure am hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day she brought her lunch again, and someone ate it. So she started asking people, who ate my lunch? Who ate my lunch? Nobody would say anything. So the next day she brought lunch, and she had a nice thing of chocolate milk. And she found out who was eating her lunch for the past 2 days. Because that chocolate milk had X-lac in it, but you couldn't tell. And that person stayed in the latrine for the rest of the day.
Yep. Man, but I would not recommend doing that, because it can be just funny, or it could be like, okay, you just almost killed a person.
You
shouldn't have took my lunch. Yeah, fair enough.
You know how much to put in there. It's directions on there.
Right, she followed directions.
Have a blessed Easter, okay?
You too, Miss Love. Love you,
God
honey.
bless Miss Love. 272-9228.
Very important you follow those directions, Joe.
Yeah, what people do to each other. I guess, did any of that ever go on at Hyundai? Like employee
We used to mess with each
beefs?
other a lot. Oh, beefs?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Really?
God, yeah.
Did it ever get like real ugly? I don't mean like somebody kill a person.
No, it got pretty...
Slept with their wife?
The funniest one was I had this real jerk of a supervisor. He wasn't a supervisor. He wasn't. They called him team leader. Anyway. He told me one time we used to do a little, couldn't say. Well, anyway, ain't out there no more. We used to do a little gambling out there. So he was in charge he was kind of the bookie. And we just have boards, And anyway, I won a board one time and I wanted the money. He's like, it's in my drawer, but I got the lock on it. You can't get in there. I go, what? He goes, I've got a lock on there. You can't get in that desk. And I said, dude, and everybody was laughing because they knew who I was. I said, dude, I got a key to every lock in this building. He said, I bet you, I can't tell you what we bet, but it was a night.
You bet it?
It was a night.
Now I'm even more curious, but keep going.
Anyway, so 5 minutes later, I came back with him and handed his lock. And I had my money. And he started to pitch a fit, and he went to supervisor screaming. He broke into my desk, and they all laughed at him. They said, he told you. He has
a key to everything.
Yeah, took my bolt cutters. But not only that, at Hyundai, our job, we were there 24/7. We literally had keys to anything. When the fire alarms would go off, people would come to us, hey, where's this? We knew. But I couldn't stand for somebody that pretended to be a supervisor to tell me that I couldn't do something. And plus, it was my money, and he was kind of denying me the opportunity of my money. So we fixed that. But we do pranks like that all the time. The best one was the chairman's golf cart. We used to steal the chairman's golf cart at night, drive it around, and then in the morning he would get on it and the battery would be dead.
Yeah, that's fun. That's just annoying fun right there.
Yeah, the funnest part, somebody else got busted and accused of it. So,
see, it's no bodily harm, no bodily injury. It's just, why is this damn cart never charged up?
Little did we know, later on we found out there was a serious investigation to why his batteries were always dead in the morning. Yeah, and that's a kind of fun. I mean, Hyundai is a serious place, but people out there, people like to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
they like to, and you need that, man.
You need it in that environment. Big team environment, you got to have that.
We did fake lotto tickets. That was the best, where you can buy fake lotto tickets and it says you won. And on the back, if you do the fine print, it says, talk to the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, whatever. Well, we handed them out to a few people. And, man, they were screaming, I won, I hit the lottery. And then, they read the back of the card, and then they come try to find me because they're a little bit upset.
Yeah.
Good times.
You want to hit a break?
Yeah. Go have a beer. Oh,
no, we're not allowed.
Not that kind of break.
No. One of these days.
That's why we need a union in here.
One of these days. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Luxury car prices and payments have hit an all-time high. But at Lexus of Montgomery, we have every new Lexus model in stock with low APR financing to save you thousands. Right now, take advantage of as low as 3.99% APR financing on your favorite new Lexus. You don't have to pay more to get the luxury vehicle you want. Pay less at Lexus of Montgomery. You deserve to drive a Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery.
Financing up to 36 months is $29.50 per 1,000 finance. With approved credit. Ends 4/1/24.
Sweetheart?
Yeah?
I've been thinking, I'm tired of this house.
What? You want to move?
Yeah, but we'd have to do some updating, to get top dollar.
Updating really does make a lot of sense, especially when you're talking about lighting. That's where Crosby Electric comes in. They'll help you choose a stunning pendant fixture over your bathroom sink, dramatic flush mount lighting over your kitchen island, maybe some LED panels to backlight your countertops. Energy-saving LED lighting has really come down in price. Or how about a new ceiling fan that moves air more efficiently than fans built only 10 years ago? The bottom line, updating your lighting almost always delivers a full return on your investment.
Well, sweetheart, the house looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Guess I'll put out the for sale sign.
Wait.
What?
I don't wanna move.
Find out how to turn your house into the home you'll never want to leave. Visit crosbyelectric.com or call 272-2085.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. How was your anniversary sale, Dot?
It was just wonderful, and I want to thank everybody that came out. It was a great time. It meant so much to me for it to be 30 years, and y'all just came out and made my day.
Well, spring is almost here. Is Eastbrook ready?
We're beginning to get the patio tables and chairs out. We've got so much there, it's hard to put it into a minute commercial. You just got to come see what we got. We've got 3 floors and 60,000 square feet. So just come see us, because we probably got a sale or two going, and our merchandise is pretty reasonable, I think. We don't charge a commission to the vendors, and so our prices are able to be a little bit less than some other places.
Give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
So y'all come on by and see us. We'd love to have you.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV, News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
Hey, did you have someone named Hannah call? Because there was a Hannah I just answered, and she said that we had requested her to call us back.
No.
I think that's a new scam right there.
Maybe
Joe.
I need to clean up my internet habits.
I wish you would. Either that or you owe this particular company a couple dollars, and they're trying to sneak into us.
Let's go to Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about practical jokes.
Sure.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, and we're talking about back in the 60s, we had this one young male teacher that was a royal pain in the patootie, if you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, everybody hated him. And people were pulling practical jokes on him constantly. Well, he drove a Volkswagen Beetle. One night during a high school basketball game, several of the football players got together and moved his Beetle into a hallway in the school.
Nice.
They didn't just put it in the hallway. They put the rubber mats you see on the floors that have got the vinyl on one side. Well, they took 4 of those and flipped them over and slid this Beetle sideways down the hall to the far end of the building. And it left about 6 inches of room in front of each bumper.
Wow.
So he had to figure out how to get it out of there. And nobody would volunteer to help. Well, he finally got it removed. Then the following season, the very next basketball season, he had decided to get rid of the Beetle and bought a Carmen Gia.
Mm.
And during the basketball game, our coach's office had a flat roof on it. It was about, maybe 8 to 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
Again, the football players got together, loaded that Beetle up into the back of a fairly high flatbed truck, pulled up beside the coach's office, and planted it on the roof of the coach's office.
Wow.
He decided to resign the following school year.
He cried uncle. What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about ingenuity. How are you even going to be that mad? You're just more sitting there going, how did they even do this?
Right.
Yeah.
And they're only going to get smarter.
Yep. I mean, like I said, this poor guy had things blowing up in his desk, you name it. If it could be done without harming anybody, it got done. He lived a life of misery for 2 school years.
Yeah, I think the car stuff is always a little fun. I think the lines getting crossed when bodily fluids or ingesting something, like that sort of stuff, you're starting to get into a territory. Oh, wait, Eddie's sitting making a face like...
Don't steal my lunch.
Well, I still agree with Eddie. Mama should have told that little boy, punch that little punk in the face next time he did it.
Right.
And you guys will be best friends.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys. Thought you guys might like to get a kick out of those.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
272-9228. I'm trying to think of recent ones because I'm not much, me personally, a practical joker. I've had a couple. Okay. Gumtown John.
Mm-hmm.
We go way back. And he remembers the brownie story, for instance. He was a roommate of mine for a few years.
Yeah.
And this is over when we were living in Cloverdale in Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
A few years back.
Very French.
And him and my other roommate both worked at the same storage facility out on Virginia Loop Road. And the storage facilities they'll have these auctions for abandoned units. And so sometimes there'd be electronic equipment in there. And actually, we got a lot of great stereo equipment out of it.
Some of the big speakers.
And the people sometimes that would win the auction didn't want everything in there. So it'd be up to the guys who are working there to either throw it out or take what they wanted.
Okay.
And usually it was stuff like speakers or receivers or turntable, like some stuff that was pretty cool and could be used, and not. Well, we'll work on it, and maybe it'll work one day.
Do.
But one day they found an entire, a clothes box, if you're moving.
Oh, yeah, the wardrobe box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not talking a tiny box,
No,
something
it's
you keep records or
about
books
6 foot
in.
tall, 5.5, 6 foot tall.
But it was full to about 4 feet of that 6 feet with old porno mags. And I'm not talking like Playboy.
Oh, no. That no one keeps the Playboy.
I'm talking about Nugget.
Yeah.
For you old perverts out there.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know this had happened. The 2 roommates were the ones who discover it.
When they discover it, did they hear?
No, for the next week or 2, I would like open up the bathroom cupboard and there would be open to a page, like just smut, obscenity. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm kind of surprised but happy to see that. No, it's like, my eyes. I wish I'd never seen that sort of thing. Oh, under your pillow, like under the couch cushion. And so these porno mags are all over the daggum house. Now, then one of my roommates is like, we got to find all of them. Actually, the guy who really hatched this, we got to find all of them. My kid's coming to town. And I think we got all of them, unless somebody who bought or rented that house.
Somebody count? I don't know.
Like, how many these things did y'all stuff away? Stow away somewhere.
Well, when you're doing that thing, you don't count. You're having fun. You're laughing.
I thought that one was pretty damn.
That's
I
pretty
wasn't
good.
even upset. That one made me laugh. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Well, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
How you doing, Paul?
What's up, Paul?
Hello, mi amigos. That was pretty good. I laughed at that myself while I was waiting here on y'all to get done. But the thing that he said about the beetle reminded me of something that happened to a cousin's husband in the 60s. Now, her brother and my eldest brother could not stand this guy. They were still dating at the time and engaged, but needless to say, they just didn't think it was going to work. So they decided that while sister and fiancé was watching TV in the living room, they went out there and they got some cinder block and they picked up that beetle and they blocked it up on them blocks.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. It was for 2 of them, and I'm wondering how in the world did they do that. And I had to remember how strong my elder cousin and my elder brother were. These guys would put 3 bundles of shingles on their shoulders and go up a ladder.
Yeah,
Woo!
I met a few guys like that, Paul, that were so strong they didn't know that they weren't supposed to be able to do that. That's just how strong they were.
Exactly. Exactly. And there was another one I was going to share. Oh, yeah. Working roofing steel. Old boy, he was bad about taking your cigarettes and just getting him a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
We all would take our cigarettes and lay them in one spot, so when we went to take a break, we'd get a cigarette and cool off and take a break.
Right.
Well, he was our general laborer, toting the shingles and cleaning up the yard and whatnot as we tore off and nailed them down and whatnot. And meanwhile, I had bought me a gallon jug, and I started bringing a gallon of tea with me to sip on during the day and to have tea at lunch. Well, that rascal got to drinking up all my tea.
Mm.
And sitting around lunch, me and some of the brothers and cousins bring plastic cups, scoop out a cup of ice from out of the water cooler, and, we got iced tea. This young man, he didn't think he had to bring nothing. Well, he kept drinking the tea, and I told him one day, y'all don't touch the tea. Y'all don't touch the tea. Why, Paul? I can't tell you, don't touch the tea. He kept drinking that tea. Next thing you know, the crew boss is calling his dad to come get the boy to take him home. He had a major accident.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very pleasant. Didn't smell real good either.
Loss of control.
Lost control.
Yeah.
But he didn't drink my tea no more.
Wow.
Actually, I even threw that jug away and bought another one to make sure there wasn't none left in it.
You got to tell folks, you got to draw lines. And
Yeah.
if they cross it,
lessons have to be learned.
Habitual line stepper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate it, Paul.
That's about like you said. Don't steal my lunch.
Don't steal my lunch.
Right.
Don't steal my tea.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
See you, Paul.
272-9228, especially if you have any practical joke stories that stick out in the mind. 272-9228. Because, yeah, honestly, I'm looking at the political news. I'm like, yeah, it's not that much going on.
A lot of mine, I mean, we used to do them regularly, but I really can't say them on the air. They just...
Oh, they go too far?
I guess. Not to us, but we're factory workers, so...
Right.
Like a friend of ours, the locker at work, you know, we have work lockers where you change clothes and stuff. Well, we filled it up with peanuts, you know, so they'd all fall of them, and we kept escalating. Well, to the point of we tried to get a live goose.
It was stuff a goose in a locker?
The one time security wouldn't let us bring something in.
Wait, hold on, back up. Y'all literally were trying to smuggle in a goose?
Yeah.
How do you do that? And what are we talking about? Like, not a Canadian, like...
No, it wasn't a Canadian goose. It's one of those white
It's like
geese.
one of those white
geese.
geese.
A friend of mine had a pond.
And so you just...
He kind of cuddled it.
Corralled the goose, kind of held them in tight.
Yeah.
Did you try to cover them, the head or anything?
Not really. Security at Hyundai with us because of
you
who
worked
we
there.
were.
Yeah.
Well, they knew we were clowns. They didn't ever stop us. But that particular day, they're like, "Hey, man, I don't know.
You can't be putting a goose in his locker."
But here's the thing: if we wanted to get the goose in, we could have. There were other ways, but we both looked at each other and went.
So what did you do with the goose?
He just took it back home.
Oh,
it wasn't that big a deal.
Okay.
Yeah, he just took it back home.
But you have to wear a seatbelt?
I don't know. Another friend at Alpton Wire, the reason he got the name Billy Goat is he stopped by a flea market one time and on the way to work, and we worked 12-hour shifts, and picked up a couple of goats. Well, that next morning when he went to get in his car, that Datsun or Toyota Corolla, whatever it was, everything was eaten out of it. The liner, the seats, it was down to the metals, and it stank like goat pee.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they ruined that car. But I heard later on those goats were quite tasty.
Yeah, they are ornery, though. They'll fight with you.
They had eaten, I'm telling you, Joey, they had eaten the stuffing, the seats, the liner. It was gone. It was gone.
Goat's not bad.
No, I'm smutting
if
for
it's
mutton.
done right.
I'm smutting for mutton.
272-9228. We got to hit this break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. I think they're joining us tomorrow for a business break. But Kim and Madeline are ready to help you there at Alabama Home Mortgage, whether you're looking to buy a home or if you're looking to get a great refinance deal done. And this ain't their first rodeo.
Right.
They've been doing this for a decade or two at this point. I know Kim's maybe even done it for 3 decades.
At least, yeah.
And the beautiful part about Alabama Home Mortgage is it started as somebody very talented at their job, working at a big bank, doing, I guess, mortgage origination, realizing based on the rules of the business she worked for, I'm not getting folks the deals that I know I could be getting them if I was doing my own thing.
Yeah.
That's why she started Alabama Home Mortgage. And, well, the rest is history. They're great local folks you can trust. They'll sit down and get to know you, your goals in buying a home or refinancing your home, especially if you're a veteran. They are hip to the latest in VA home loan programs, so they can get you an amazing deal. If you're a veteran out there listening and you've not taken advantage of those benefits when it comes to owning a home, refinancing a home, it's the best game in town. So check them out today. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. It's 567-4223, or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Holy moly. Bitcoin just topped 73,000.
Should I sell?
No, Eddie, you dope.
But Joey, I could make some decent money right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I could almost double my investment on original.
I'm just telling you,
Bitcoin.
I have been there.
I know.
I don't give any investment advice other than I've been there, and I wish I had held.
Okay, I'm going to hold. But man,
It's like Braveheart. Hold.
All right, I'm going to hold, but man.
Hold.
Opportunity.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or
205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
It's Johnny from Sinclair's on Bond Road. We've been in business almost 30 years.
Sinclair's East, Vaughn at Taylor.
I think if you hadn't tried us, you should give us a try. We've got a great menu, offered anything from chicken fingers, wings, salads, fajitas. At lunchtime, we do great country lunch with different vegetables and different meats every day.
Sinclair's, where you get great sandwiches and our daily meat and 3 special at lunch, to great pasta, chicken, steaks, and seafood for dinner.
Our most popular items are, we got a soup called she crab soup, which is extremely popular. We've got a bunch of pasta dishes, which people love. Mediterranean chicken is my favorite.
Sinclair's.
We do live music, light stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe 3-piece bands or 4-piece bands.
Come and see why Sinclair's has seen lesser restaurants come and go over the years. Johnny Sullivan Sinclair's, at the corner of Vaughn and Taylor. Find them on Facebook at Sinclair's East. Google search Sinclair's Restaurant. Sinclair's.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've been enjoying a string of pretty nice days this week, but we do have a late week storm system on the way. Today, though, the warming trend continues, high 76 with a good bit of sun mixed in with some clouds. The nights are also starting to moderate. Tonight's low down to about 50. We'll be near 80 on Thursday with a good bit of sun. Risk of scattered showers and storms returning after midnight on Thursday night. Widespread rain and storms on Friday, and periods of showers and storms over the weekend. Rainfall totals could be excessive. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Make this spring your most productive yet with our package deal on Kubota's L2501 DT tractor with front loader, 5-foot cutter and box blade, and 20-foot trailer at special spring savings. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Before I forget, I got an update on the porno mags.
Yeah.
Gumtown John says the other roomie is still finding those nudie mags hidden in the album covers.
That is hysterical. That's good.
We're talking about vinyl albums.
That's long time played joke right there.
That's a slow burn. I like that right there.
But also when you find one, you and then it brings back those sweet memories.
Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Let's go to Randall. Hey, Randall.
Randall, what's up, bud?
What's happening, fellas? This is a good topic, and I think the older folks that have better stories and more of them, because they kind of cut that out. The what do you call the HR woman or whatever?
Oh,
I guess, or HR. Or
You knew her very well.
Pretty much cut that mess out. Because man,
yeah,
like if you worked at Wadsworth Construction, let me tell you, they from Montgomery. That's a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wadsworth is a staple name. You've had some jokes pulled on your work, bro. Let me tell you, and some good one. Like. And I did have one, I've done the normal, where you pile dirt up around somebody's car where they can't leave, you know what I mean? Like, so we work, that kind of, we could do bigger stuff. Like, I mean, I've done that to Andre Brown. Andre Brown, which was from Billingsley. Like I put a whole dam around his car when he first came to work that time. Like initiation, and everybody left, so it was like 7 o'clock before I came back. And I just get the car and leave. And so you know, but the one that got me, man, I got a snake put in one of my a piece of equipment.
Yeah,
it's fine. You know, I got a little snake put on it. And I come across one of them big alligator snapping turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And the man who done it to me was a lowboy driver, and he had dropped off a piece of equipment. So I was younger, and I stuck the snapping turtle in the cab and hid it behind the passenger seat.
Oh, Randall.
And yeah, it came out the next day, and the guy he had a wreck and killed somebody.
Ooh,
and
whoa.
No, I'm just playing.
What?
I figured it bit him. I figured it came out and bit the
I
guy.
was about to say the statute of limitations ain't up yet, buddy.
I did put the turtle in there, and man, Keith Wadsworth, which was the nephew of the man, he said, man, you go get you. He told me, said, what is that? You know, he gave me that scenario.
Yeah.
And he said, what does that happen? I was like, you know what if that does happen? Because it wasn't like him, you know, putting in a piece of equipment. He got me good now, because you know, what I mean, you come across a snake when you sit down in the bulldozer. And you close that door, you tearing up some stuff. Let me tell you. So yeah, my get back was I got the nephew was like, man, you go track that joker down, you get it out of there now. He said, you can get somebody killed. I said, yeah, that's her. So yeah, but the HR person, I'm pretty sure there are some good ones, but you know what I mean. The HR person put a leash on that, man, because you started getting a lot of trouble. I imagine. Because, man, our Randy, they actually used to be a person, they called it Randy from Valley, used to call in the radio station. And he worked at Wadsworth. And, man, they used to do some crazy stuff. And this so happened Randy from Valley. I had to put that he's my uncle by marriage. So, but he used to call in to one of the radio stations on 90, it was on Blue Board, I think it was 98.9. And it was, I forgot the disc jockey name, but. Anyway, they used to do some crazy stuff, man. Like the older generation got some. Y'all got some stories. Y'all can tell them now. I mean, the time's unlapped. Y'all ain't gonna go to prison. You know what I mean? Y'all can call in and tell them because Joy, this is a good topic. I can't wait to hear some good stuff. Cause man, some of these younger folks, man, y'all don't know what it's like to be in that type of environment and having fun like that. The work day turned into more work these days. You know what I mean? Like a man counts his dimes, ain't gonna let you sit there and horseplay. You know what I mean? Because he paid you to work. So yeah, the horseplay has been cut out of the workplace a lot. And there are some good stories out there. I can't wait to hear, man. Cause I can't wait for some of these folks call in and say, hey, back in my day, we used to be able to, because you can't do like the stuff they do. You know what I mean? You can't fake your finger getting cut off no more. You know what I mean? Like you get somebody a heart attack. You know, you can't fake a fire no more, you know, and stuff like that, like having smoke come through the fence and pulling the fire alarm. Like, you know, them days over with, you know.
Yeah, right.
That no more. So I can't wait to hear some of these stories because, like, they done that. They put smoke in the vent, pull the fire alarm, make you think the whole place burning down, just to see what somebody's gonna say. You never know till you put in that situation. What's the first thing on somebody's mind? What's the first thing they're gonna say if a fire alarm pulled in your life? What you saving? You know what I mean? Like that's really deeper than a joke, but like that kind of stuff used to happen, and you kind of see what comes in a person's life first.
Well, it's not completely gone. You had that congressman that pulled the fire.
That's very true.
All right. Well, Randall, I got to run. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
See you again. If you want to call in, 272-9228 or 334-272-9228 if you're not local. That's 272-9228. Or 334-272-9228. Now, Eddie's signaling. Okay. And can you get Michael Cohen on the line? Let's go to, I think this is Biloxi Gambler. Hey, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, I know. It's time for Michael Cohen, man. Let me tell you a story. So I'm in high school, right? And they got a big carpet right inside the front door of the school. Huge carpet. I mean, it's huge. Okay, so this dude... his dad works for the gas company, and he sprinkled propanol on it. Now, have you ever smelled propane? You know, the smell, the scent?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that's how you know it's leaking.
Right.
They add, see, it's an invisible gas, but they add propanol to it So when you smell it, that means there's a gas leak.
Okay, yes.
So he sprinkled propanol on the carpet. Well, they evacuated the school. They called the fire trucks, all this kind of stuff. And, of course, I'm like top of the hit list on the question. I'm not the one that did it. They wanted me to. They knew I would know who did it because I was my crew, right? And I ain't saying anything. They didn't catch the guy. But anyway, we were out of school the rest of the day because they couldn't get us back in there because there's a gas leak, and they got to find the gas leak. And it's real hard to round up high schoolers when they all have their own cars and stuff after you send them outside. So it was chaos.
That's a pretty good one. That's a clever one.
It is great. Everybody was scared to death. They thought it was going to be, And
do you smell gas? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody smelled gas because he put too much on there too. Because it just takes a very little bit, and buddy, you stink up the whole building.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, that was fun. I told them to do that around finals or something. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later.
Later. Appreciate it. Let's go to Michael Cohen, Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Having fun today, talking about practical jokes and pranks, and kind of just fell into the storytelling.
Well, that's good.
You're
a good storyteller.
Some days better than others, but I appreciate that. Now, let's talk about the washer and dryer units again, because I just want to reiterate to folks, especially the Speed Queen product right there. It's built to last like that. It's true steel, like metal, right?
That's right. I had this conversation with someone earlier today. The way things were built in the 80s, everybody built things to last.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to emulate the Maytag story with the Maytag repairman and how lonely he was.
Right.
And by today's standards, he's got a ton of new friends because nothing is built that way. And Speed Queen seems to be as close as you can get to that. They use less parts, they use less plastic, they use way more steel. You pick one of their washers up, you compare it to anybody else's washer, it weighs a ton more. So it's just built with steel. They do a better job. And I've got one of the shafts that goes into the washing machine. I mean, it looks like something you could beat off the looters with that thing. But it's the way that they've engineered it to last for 25 years. I just got back from the Nationwide show, which they have twice a year, and I got to see their laundry set up beside commercial laundry. And the commercial laundry made by Speed Queen looks almost the same as the residential laundry, except, that it does have a coin where you have to put some quarters in. But it's the same quality. It's the same level that they use in commercial laundromats where everybody's abusing them because it's not theirs, and they last. So it's good stuff. 3 years, 5 years, or even a 7-year warranty on Speed Queen.
So, folks, you got to check it out in person. Of course, you can always go to thinkcohens.com to see the Speed Queen products or all the great electronics and appliances they have there at Cohen's. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure when you stop by to find a team member, find Michael himself, and say, hey, I heard Michael on the radio with Joey and Eddie, those fellas.
Good. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. See you, buddy.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Let's go to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, Randall is right. By today's standard, everybody would be in sensitivity training.
Mm-hmm.
You just couldn't do it. I'll give you an example. Back in high school, in every athletic training room, there was a big tub of stuff, and it was orange, and it was called atomic heat. And it was used for muscle cramps and rubbing the old muscles.
Yep.
But it was hot. I mean, it was hot. So we had a coach that was always making us run wind sprints, and his favorite saying was, "I'm gonna put a little pepper on y'all."
Mm-hmm.
And he referred to a certain part of our ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so he liked to go take his whirlpool bath after football practice because of his bad back. So we took the atomic heat one day, put it into the whirlpool, put it around the liner, all inside, and it's, you know, it's like Vaseline. It doesn't mix well with water. So he yelled, screamed, hollered, and we all came running in there. We said, "Coach, what's going on?" He said, "I don't know, but I'm about to burn up." I said, "Well, somebody must have put a little pepper on it." Y'all have a good day.
I appreciate it, someone does.
See you, man.
Wow. And let's go to Roger before we hit our top
Okay.
there break. Hey, Roger.
Hello. Yeah, I've got one for you. This
Okay.
goes back to the 1992 election. I was working on a job up in just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. We had a lot of laborers there, and they were all strong Democrat, and we were a contractor, and we were all strong Republican, and we just didn't get along politically. Well, anyway, one of our guys decided to put, I think it was John Kerry was running against Kennedy that year, but it doesn't matter. Whoever the Republican was, the lead for the labor crew, he had a Cadillac, and he had a Republican bumper sticker placed on his bumper, and he didn't notice for 3 days, and they were ready to kill us. They knew one of us did it, but they didn't know who, and they never found out.
Were there any reprisals?
No.
Got away
They
with
didn't find the exact person, but yeah, we got away with it.
It's always fun, the little ways you can get at folks. And, yeah, labor and management always at each other.
Always.
But I appreciate the call, Roger, really do.
Thank you, Roger.
All right, have a blessed day.
You too, bro.
No, that's a pretty good one. Bumper sticker? Yeah, that's annoying to get off.
Yeah. Put one on my, it was a good friend of mine, supervisor at Hyundai, that he really loved something, and he didn't see it 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a good guy, though. All was well.
What did he love? Like,
can't tell you on the air.
How about this?
But he loved it.
No, he loved it so much. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. After the House passed a bill that would ban TikTok in the U.S., that bill will now head to the Senate, where its prospects are unclear. Kenya's President William Ruto says his country will still lead a UN-backed multinational police force to help quell gang violence in Haiti once a transitional presidential council is formed in that Caribbean country. Ruto said in a post on X, formerly Twitter, that Secretary of State Antony Blinken had briefed him on the latest developments in Haiti. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz defended his refusal to send Taurus long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine. He insisted that Germany must not become directly involved in the war between Ukraine and Russia. The Dow had 112 points, but the Nasdaq losing 45. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. Remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
The Veterans Access to Care bill, now in the Alabama State Legislature, will relieve the overwhelmed federal VA healthcare system and provide the specially tailored care that veterans need.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
The Johnny Adams Law Firm. They want you to stay safe on the road. Please don't text and drive. Get to your destination safely. Your family and friends will thank you. From the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Well, hi, everybody. We've been enjoying a string of pretty nice days this week, but we do have a late week storm system on the way. Today, though, the warming trend continues, high 76 with a good bit of sun mixed in with some clouds. The nights are also starting to moderate. Tonight slowed down to about 50. We'll be near 80 on Thursday with a good bit of sun. The risk of scattered showers and storms returning after midnight on Thursday night. Widespread rain and storms on Friday, and periods of showers and storms over the weekend. Rainfall totals could be excessive. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
Alabama Congressman Dale Strong is calling on Joe Biden to rescind the 60 executive orders that he issued in the past regarding the U.S.-Mexico border. Writing for 1819 News, Strong says that Biden was inspired by Barack Obama years ago to issue executive orders, and upon his first 100 days in the White House, removed all of the border protections that were put in place during the Trump administration. Strong says that Biden is being dishonest when he calls on Congress to pass a bipartisan border bill, since he knows full well that Democrats will never approve common sense measures that secure the border. Strong writes that the president is refusing to uphold his constitutional duty to protect the American people from a foreign invasion. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
2 men in Mobile will have felony murder charges proceed against them in the shooting death of a 9-year-old girl that occurred last December. A grand jury will now consider the evidence that was presented to a district judge regarding Tyrone Williams and Darius Lucky Jr. Mobile County District Attorney Keith Blackwood says the investigation into the drive-by shooting that killed Kaylee Knight will continue, with likely more arrests and charges coming. Last night, the Limestone County School Board voted and approved a new redistricting plan, which will address overpopulation within those schools. The new zones will be implemented in the 2024-2025 school year. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his hand. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 334-272-9228. We are now, for those just now learning, live streaming the show. So if you want to listen to us through YouTube, just go to Joey Clark Live, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get updates when we go live or when we're posting new clips of the shows that came before. And also, we're streaming this now on the X platform. Appreciate everybody who's been watching more on X the last few days. Really do appreciate the love. You know, we're small. It's a small market. We're starting slow and small, but, you know, we're from Alabama. I'm a little slow. I got to work it out, you know, slowly but surely, right? That's what I love just telling people up there in Boston. It actually never came up a situation where I was going to be like, I'm from Alabama. I'm a little slow. Help me out here. And that's exactly how I would have said it. But let's go to Larry. Hey, Larry, how you doing?
I'm good. I was going to tell you a little workplace instance that happened with me.
Okay.
And we had a guy that was a cleaner. I worked at a paper mill in South Alabama. And he was a cleaner, and as cleaners do a lot, they stand around leaning on the broom and stuff. But he would whenever we bought new work boots, everybody would usually just leave them up in the locker room when they change, put the new ones on, so the old ones would be laying around there. So he gathered those up and would go to the bathroom and put a set of boots under the stall door as if somebody was sitting in there, and then he would go back out and lean on his broom and watch everybody go in a bind and run out. So
too much free time on it.
yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Oh,
but
man.
he was a kind of a jokester anyway, but it was
He was.
It was really funny, yeah, when you think about that.
That's pretty good right there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, 272-9228. That's 272-9228. If folks want to keep going with the jokes they remember from work, from school, practical jokes, pranks, or maybe it was just roommate life, 272-9228. Again, just recapping some stuff. A judge has dismissed 6 counts against Trump in the Atlanta, Fulton County case, the Fannie Willis case.
Right.
That's interesting. Both Trump and Biden have officially clinched enough delegates to win their party's nominations.
When's the last time they've had an election like this where it's the same 2 individuals that were from the previous?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I wonder. It's got to have been done, though. Before,
oh, sure.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. But, yeah, it's looking like Trump and Biden, but I've been saying, and I could be wrong, it's just a gut feeling, just speculation. This is now the time period probably most dangerous for Joe Biden. This next couple months is probably the most dangerous time for Joe Biden. And, you know, folks can say, oh, he did a great job at the State of the Union or he looked alive. Well, you know, we keep setting the bar so low for Joe, he's able to kind of stumble over it. But I'm not talking about Republicans are going to take Biden out. I'm thinking this is the moment where the big wigs that run the Democrats
on the inside,
who actually run a big part of Washington, might be looking to make old switcheroo. We'll see.
You think they got somebody there? Do you know of someone they have in the wings waiting? You think it's going to be Mr. California?
Gavin? No, man.
I hope not. But
that guy reminds me of like mahogany desk lacquer. You know how they get shiny?
Yeah.
That's him.
American Psycho. That's
him. Dude.
That's him. I cannot unsee it.
Got to return some videotapes. I'll be right back.
Right. Yeah, that's the guy.
Let's
Check
go
out
to
my new business cards.
Let's go to Doug. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug. Hey, let's talk about 65 for a minute.
All right.
When are they going to widen 65?
When they get the money and the will. And by will, I mean Will Ainsworth
That's
as governor.
what I thought you meant. Yeah. Yep.
Traffic on 65 from Birmingham to Mobile is awful.
Yep.
It really is.
And especially if we get that new port. That's more traffic. So.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be widened up. I know Will Ainsworth is all for it. It's one of his big ideas that he wants to get done. He'd like to get it done now, even as lieutenant governor, but we'll see. But Trump kind of threw his weight behind that idea at that speech he gave here in Alabama not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
we sure could use it.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Well,
Hey, what about the widening of the bridge down there between 101 and 107? Is that, y'all know what's going on right there?
That I don't.
Do not. Sorry, I just don't know.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks,
you, man.
sir. Let's go to Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, this didn't happen to me, but it happened to a friend of mine who did not get along with his brother-in-law. They didn't like each other. He was a big Alabama fan, and his brother-in-law was a big Auburn fan.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a phone call the day of the Alabama-Auburn game from his brother-in-law to come over and watch the game with him. He said, well, he must want to bury the hatchet and try to patch things, so he went. And he's on his way home from watching the game, and he said people were smiling at him. He said, well, everybody's friendly this afternoon. 2 days later, he walked behind his car, and his brother-in-law would put a sticker on it that said, "Gay Alabama fan on board."
Yep. You gotta love the subtle ones that are the slow burns. They're so good. It's like, how long have I been driving around like this?
Okay, you guys have a good day.
You too, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, folks are like, hey, how you doing?
What do you do? Hey.
It's so good. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, by the way, you checked your bumper lately?
No. No.
Okay.
I suspect the worst, though. It's probably covered in pollen at this point.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Let's go to JR. Hey, JR.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
Hey, if we're going to pile on Biden today, I definitely want to take my opportunity to do this also.
Sure.
I heard a little joke the other morning on one of my favorite morning shows. I think they said something about every time Biden laid down to take a nap down that somebody would come by and lay a flag over it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That's a heck of a one.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
You know, you said you're worried about Biden between now and election. What they're
This is probably the most dangerous time for him.
I'll be honest. After thinking about it and had a conversation with a good friend of mine this morning in Jamaica, as a matter of fact, I worry about Trump.
You think so?
I worry. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't think they can cheat the second time. If they did.
Right.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures from people. And I worry about that.
No, and this morning, apparently, the Morning Joe crew was so upset because the new, head legal counsel for election integrity was, one of the biggest people talking about the stolen 2020 thing. Yeah. No, I still maintain it was stolen fair and square.
Fair and square, you
just
say
gotta, you gotta play the game, and as dirty as they're gonna play it.
Right.
But that argument is going to continue to election day. And do not underestimate some of these folks, these judges in particular, that will, they don't care an election's coming up.
Right.
We're still, you better be here in trial October the 25th.
How do you feel about that? I like the way elections be damned, you're coming to court. But when it's frivolous?
It could, we've already seen it, continue to backfire. To where he's in court, they're saying all the worst things. Look what the court said. And then Trump especially acts defiant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could work in his favor, actually. And it's going to be drama, either way, no matter what we do here. So we'll see. I think Trump more is just always in danger.
Yeah. But I do worry because, again, I don't think they can do a lot of the same things they did last time. And he seems to be winning once again. And they are losing once again. All these court cases, all that, their stuff is falling apart.
Right.
Become desperate.
272-9228. I love our congressman. He's not going to be our congressman for much longer, Eddie.
Yeah.
But I'm just seeing this. It just came out from Caleb Taylor there at 1819 News. Barry Moore,
I love Barry
lone
Moore.
Alabama no vote in House on bill that could ban TikTok. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. Well, wait a minute. I heard a commercial that he was anti-Trump. And
Oh,
then
we're
Trump,
gonna-
Trump is
Dude.
against this bill, but Barry just went against this bill. Is he so anti-Trump after all?
Yeah, and I got a feeling on both the Republican and Democrat side here in District 2,
Yeah.
we're about to experience those sorts of ads.
We are. There's no doubt. And
Going to be a lot of that stuff.
I know we're in the business, but I can't stand PACs.
And we'll play it down the middle,
We have to.
balls and strikes, or sometimes people say something to each other, and you just get the popcorn and just sit back and
What else can you do?
You
Not
want me
my
to say a
fight.
thing?
Yeah.
I'm not taking sides, Dad.
Nope. Nope.
But that's great. Okay, thank you, Barry Moore,
Yes,
for
I
actually
agree, 100%.
Sticking with President Trump on that one.
You know, Barry
And it's
Moore,
not just because Trump said it; it's more all those concerns we laid out.
it's a common sense factor. And Barry Moore is not an old, scared man.
Oh, and now this just came out from Erica Thomas. CNN issues correction to story suggesting Katie Britt misrepresented trafficking victim's story.
Yeah.
No, she didn't misrepresent the story. Everybody's going, well, it happened long ago. That's an example of what happened long ago, and it's continued and gotten worse.
Nothing's changed.
Right.
It's certainly not gotten better.
Yeah. So we'll...
Yeah, good for CNN.
Yeah, at least they corrected. I'm sure everybody will now hear about it, though, right? No, everybody's
The
just
only
going
place
with
I read it
something
was on Fox.
Right.
So,
Right. Now, there's another story out there in the wide world that, I mean, we've talked about this before, right, Eddie? Is this, well, I'll just pull up the story.
All right.
I'll pull it up on the stream here. Nearly 30% of Gen Z women identify as LGBTQ. Gallup survey finds, this is from NBC News.
sorry, I don't trust
You don't believe it?
Nope.
Women ages 18 to 26 were more than twice as likely to identify as LGBTQ than their millennial counterparts, the survey found.
I'm sorry. And maybe I'm just an old fool, but I do not believe this at all. And I don't believe the source it comes from either.
Yeah, the percentage of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer adults in the U.S. continues to increase, reaching an all-time high of 7.6% in 2023, according to new Gallup data. Broken down by gender, the survey of 12,000 people 18 and older across the country found that women were nearly twice as likely as men to identify as LGBTQ. Almost 30%. Wow. Of Gen Z women identify as LGBTQ, most as bisexual. You know, we were talking about this off air.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I've been saying this for years. You remember the, height of those stupid dating reality TV shows?
Oh, yeah.
See, what, the Bret Michaels one, Rock of Love or whatever? And
Prison Love.
Or Flavor Flav, didn't he have one?
Flavor of Love?
Oh, dude.
Come on.
Flavor of Love was pretty intense.
That girl ran up the stairs, dropped a little something behind.
Now, but do you remember the one with Tila Tequila?
Yes.
And she's bisexual,
Yep.
and both men and women are going to be competing for her love. I said back then, yeah, Tila Tequila, I guess, works for the American audience watching that crap on NTV or VH1 or whatever. I don't think the nation was ready for Tony Tequila.
I don't think so.
There is somewhat of a difference. I don't know why. And, well, this is rude to say.
Uh-oh.
Maybe Lady Gaga was wrong. Not everybody's born this way. And that when you see, say, social trends that are happening, it's young women who pick up those trends first.
If everybody was
And
born
the
this
most.
way, how come it's taken us thousands of years?
Well, because we're just that repressed, Eddie.
Is that what it, I had no idea.
Just that repressed. And also, bisexual, I guess you like everybody, right? Not everybody literally, but either sex will do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not even judging. It's more fascinating to me. Why are we seeing these numbers in this way?
Because, Joey, they're trying to normalize it, buddy. That's why.
Yeah.
Normalization.
Let's go to Pat. Hey, Pat.
Good afternoon, guys. As I've been going between jobs, I've heard people calling in on practical jokes.
Sure.
And I was reminded when I was a freshman at the academy, one of my duties one night was to guard the flagpole so cadets could not put a trash can on top of the flagpole. and because our commandant, it was Army Air Force Week, and our commandant was a West Point grad. And so I'm stupid, and I said, okay, well, I can see guarding it, but how the heck do you get one up there? And to which point the upperclassman takes a broom handle, tapes it to the lanyard. You put the trash can on the lanyard. You run up the flagpole, wiggle the rope around, lower the thing back down, and the trash can's down on top of the flagpole.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And then you got to get a jitty lift or something in there to get it back down. But you know, and the guy that called in earlier about the Kramajizik, their atomic bomb. Oh, yeah. That brought back some memories from high school too.
Yeah. Put some pepper on it.
Anyway, been enjoying y'all's show today.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah, I think my dad said he had a teacher at JD that if you fell asleep, and it might have been younger, might have been like what? It might have been Capitol Heights or whatever, middle school or high school. He said if you fell asleep in this guy's class, he had one of these old like crank electric motors with like notes, and he'd hook it up to you and like shock the crap out of you to wake you up.
We had Coach Bowman. He would come around with a mallet, and he would just bang that desk, man, and it was a heck of a way to wake up.
And maybe all that's going to have a fierce comeback because the softness of everybody. I just don't see it. Well, because the softness is not leading to more softness. The softness is leading to bitterness and angst and resentment, and it ain't just the usual political divide. Like, there's something weird going on right now. It's like the best we've ever had it in human history, we think.
Makes us soft.
But some people are happy. But when you look at the numbers, it ain't good. Let's go to Don. Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
Hey, guys. Hope you're having a great afternoon. Show sounds good.
Thank you.
Hey, I got a little story here, and I'll preface by saying this goes back pre-cell phone and during the Bill Clinton era.
Okay.
I had a very, very best friend. In fact, I'm godfather to his daughter. And so we were very close. He loved my wife, loved our family. So, but he always used to tease me. He would say, you know, one of these days I'm going to get to, and he'd say my wife's name, which I won't on the air. And he said, one of these days, and he always teased me about it. So me and my wife are on a trip, and we're in Missouri at the time, and there's a guy in a booth across the restaurant that looks exactly like this dude. I mean, he could be a twin. And so I went over there. He's by himself, and I said, hey, man, here's the deal. You know, this guy is always teasing me. So would it be okay if my wife snuggled up to you in the booth and I got a picture? So, man, he laughed. He said, that's great. She snuggled on up there, and I get the picture. So I write my friend a letter and include that picture in the letter. And I said, I want to know what's going on. I found this in my wife's panty drawer, and I want to know what's happening. All right, so he calls my answering machine, and he said, Donnie, I know that looks like me, but I did not have sex with that woman.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah, teased me for years, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's the clincher. Unfortunately, he crashed and burned and passed away in a motorcycle accident about 7 years ago. Well, at his funeral, you're walking around the perimeter of the room, and there's all these photographs. Well, we're walking along. There's that picture.
Awesome.
The family thought it was him.
Wow, that might be the best story of the day. Thank you, Tom.
Well, thank you. You know who you're talking to here.
Yes, sir. And
all right.
Well, great to hear from you.
Okay, carry on.
Thank you, Don.
Wow. Here we, in a second, got to hit a break. First, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your house is probably your biggest expense, your biggest buy or investment in life.
Right.
And so what are some of the biggest parts of your house? Foundation, of course. But how about the roof?
Keeps the rain out, baby.
Yeah. Keeps a lot out. And
Keeps the birds
so
out.
Here's the deal. You need to do some basic preventative maintenance. It would be a shame, for instance, if you're paying insurance premiums for years and you're just not getting anything checked, and then you do finally notice a problem, and insurance company comes back when you make a claim going, no, there's neglect on your part. We ain't covering this.
Right.
Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So what you need to do is call River Region Contracting today. They're called the premier roofing contractor in the River Region for a great reason. Whether it's an asphalt or metal roof, they'll come out, inspect it, and make sure your jam up and jelly tight. And here's the beautiful thing. Their inspections and estimates, always free.
Absolutely free.
They show up at time. They do the job right. They don't leave a mess behind. You're not going to have a bunch of nails,
flat tires,
those sorts of things, or a bunch of, soda bottles or energy
trash. You don't want all that.
drink bottles, because you can see that on a job sometimes.
I've seen a lot.
You're not seeing that with River Region Contracting. So call Todd Clark and the team today, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. Oh, and by the way, did I mention they're insurance specialists? So they can help you with the claims process, too. Great folks. Be sure to tell Todd and the team there at River Region Contracting that Joey and Eddie from News and Views sent you. Let's go to Walter before the break. Hey, Walter.
Hey,
Walter. How you doing, bud?
Hold on a second. I can turn my radio off. Shit. Oh, sorry.
I don't.
Practical jokes. I just sent one to Eddie on text message. But anyways, I got another one. When I was in the Navy, we would send the recruits down to the new boys down to the maintenance office and tell them to go look for 100 feet of water line. And we needed 100 feet of water line. And if you've been in the Navy, you know what water line is. It's not rope.
No.
It's the ship's water line. And another one, when I was a bartender down in Fort Lauderdale, Daytona, and Panama City Beach, especially for spring break, you get one of those bad boys, idiot customers, and you sit there, and the bartender's trick was 2 or 3 drops of Visine in their drink.
Probably get
they
some
will
out of the
not
place.
last 5 minutes.
They get out of the place pretty quick, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Ooh. See, the stuff that makes people crap their pants or vomit it's like, ooh, maybe they deserved it. It depends on how much they're being an idiot. But,
Oh, yeah.
But, that's
the worst thing you could ever do to a bartender is take an empty beer bottle and tap it on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And, boy, I tell you right now, 1, you're put last in line, and 2, you better think twice about drinking that beer.
Yeah, don't be rude to the people that prepare your food and drink.
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
Well, I appreciate the call, Walter.
Thank you, Walter.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Right.
We do have to hit this break. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car, no matter what it is, no matter where you got it. We'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Camry LE, MSRP 30,958, 12,000 miles per year for 36 month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage, plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 dock fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For many years, my team and I have worked diligently to provide our veterans with top-notch service, as it is our honor to serve those who have served us in the armed forces. Madeline and I are certified veteran lending specialists. Nationwide, there are over 22 million veterans that qualify to purchase a home through the VA loan program. Yet less than 2 million of them currently have a VA home loan. Many lenders do not keep up with the ever-changing guidelines and benefits of the VA loan program. They are intimidated by the program, resulting in many veterans not obtaining VA loans. This is unacceptable deductible. The VA Home Loan Program offers service members and veterans with 100% financing. You've already paid your down payment. If you are currently serving or have honorably discharged, we would love an opportunity to discuss how the VA program can serve you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Thank you for your service. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Is spring cleaning making your floors feel, well, a little worse for the wear? Don't just clean them, upgrade them. Carroll's Carpet Flooring America can help you transform your home with beautiful new flooring and countertops. Carroll's Carpet is locally owned and operated, so you're supporting the community. At Carroll's Carpet, you'll get expert advice to help you find the perfect flooring, hardwood, carpet, laminate, tile, or even luxury vinyl. They'll work with you to create the exact look you've been dreaming of. Carroll's Carpet, new floors this spring, makes your whole home sing. carrollscarpet.com on the Northeastern Boulevard.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. Now, there's one story I've been kind of sitting on.
Yeah?
Did you see the war on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, over this, like, great, what a catch of a woman. And I mean, she kind of intimidates me because I don't want to go noodling, but this country girl, I think named Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's been on social media
a while
now.
For a while, yeah.
And she's, number one.
I'd love to have her on the show.
Fireworks on the 4th. Good looking. But also, like, she's a country girl through and through.
I think from
Tomboy, man.
Op or that area. So,
yeah.
Country with a capital K.
Right, and the internet's so weird now that they're going after her.
When I used to watch her, she was a hero on the internet. They were celebrating the fact that a young, pretty girl was able to do things like tomboy, like you wouldn't see most women do nowadays.
Right. So, first off, this was all started by a Lebanese woman named Samira. And she said, this accent needs to be illegal and women should be banned from doing manual labor like this.
Okay. Easy fix. We go get Samira and we educate her. And we let her go noodling, and I bet she would change her mind.
Yeah.
And if not, so what?
And for folks who don't know, here's what I'll do. I'll pull this up on the live stream, and we'll play a little bit of the video this woman is reacting to, because I think this woman is adorable. And it
Me too.
Sounds like, not just adorable, capable. Like she's... works with her dad on construction site. She loves to go noodling. Literally, I'm not doing that.
I won't.
You ain't doing that either? Sticking your hand in a dark hole? See what
too many of those
out?
people have showed me where they're missing a finger because there wasn't a catfish in the hole. There was a snapping turtle.
Right.
No, thank you. But more power to her.
So this is the actual girl in question, Hannah Barron 96 on the TikTok. Oh no, you better find a new platform, honey.
Let's be forced to the reels.
Let's listen in.
Good morning, y'all. Quick update on the house because I've been pretty terrible about giving y'all these. We took a little break for noodling season and to put out boxes. Now that it's dried in, we can do it at our own pace. But here she is. We're going to stain all that wood a darker brown, and the shutters, when we get that on, we'll have handrails, of course. So there's the carport over there.
Pretty innocent video.
That's how most of our videos have been. Very innocent.
And so this Lebanese woman, like, this accent needs to be illegal. Okay, thanks.
Well, that's just...
Well, Lebanon's probably not going to exist, so keep it up, Samira. Women like this should be banned from doing manual labor. There is nothing in all caps, feminine about American women. American women are literally men.
Can we see a picture of Samira?
Yeah.
Maybe we could throw some judgment her way.
We could.
Now
she's throwing up photos. I think this is her in this one
she's
right
probably
here.
gorgeous. And
yeah, I mean, she's not bad.
That's a bot.
It's fake.
A bot. Yeah.
Fake.
Yeah, it's a bot.
Yeah.
100%.
The fact that this is, maybe it's just a cultural difference.
Well, sure. I mean, dude, I'm a dude, and I wouldn't go noodling. I think she's crazy for doing it, but I don't damn her. I celebrate her for doing that. You got cojones that I just don't have.
Of course, many came to her defense, saying this woman is pure Americana. Her kind settled the American West, homeschooled our greatest generations, and bore sons who fought valiantly in our wars. Femininity is more than a nail salon. I agree.
Well, plus it sounds like Samira's from another part of the world. And maybe she just doesn't understand American culture.
Yeah, and this is a constant, thing. Which way?
One on the right looks like a dude.
I was thinking the same exact thing, Eddie.
Sorry, but that's...
I was thinking the same exact thing. It's just like, what a world we live in. But that's good. It's getting smaller.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to enhance the cultural differences, actually, in a lot of ways. And
the biggest thing with cultural differences, just like when we used to live in Turkey, once you kind of talk to someone, most of those differences melt away. And suddenly what they thought was threatening is inviting to them. I'd like to try that. It's a matter of just having that simple one-on-one conversation.
Well, and my accent is not like Hannah's.
No.
Hannah's is over the top, but it's genuine.
Right.
And I felt when they're saying that accent should be banned, I felt a little attacked. Like, hey,
How do you ban an accent?
Well, it's just a comment. It's just like, it's ugly, it's awful, or it's that sort of crap.
How about we ban her? How about that?
Yeah. Lebanon's not going to be there long.
Right. Enjoy it while you can, dude.
272-9228. In other news, how about this?
Okay.
Let's hit a break first.
All right.
Run out of time. Honestly, I'm getting tired.
Oh my goodness.
I'm working
2 hours.
so hard, yeah.
Hitting the gym later on today?
No, actually. I think I might actually do the first cut of the grass, at least the front yard.
Ooh.
That might be a little
probably
nasty.
a good idea.
That's why I was like, I don't need to go to the gym if I'm doing that.
That weather's fixed to come in. Yeah, you're going to be mowing it again next week.
Yeah, or I'll do it this weekend.
Good idea. No, you don't. Unless you're doing it in your scuba suit, you will not be doing it this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here. We'll be right back.
They may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. How was your anniversary sale, Dot?
It was just wonderful, and I want to thank everybody that came out. It was a great time. It meant so much to me for it to be 30 years, and y'all just came out and made my day.
Well, spring is almost here. Is Eastbrook ready?
We're beginning to get the patio tables and chairs out. We've got so much there, it's hard to put it into a minute commercial. You just got to come see what we got. You know, we've got 3 floors and 60,000 square feet. So just come see us, because we probably got a sale or 2 going, and our merchandise is pretty reasonable, I think. We don't charge a commission to the vendors, and so our prices are able to be a little bit less than some other places.
Give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
So y'all come on by and see us. We'd love to have you.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99. And that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Hello, this is Colonel Patrick Downing, U.S. Army retired, on behalf of the nearly 400,000 veterans in Alabama, urging the passage of the Veterans Access to Care Bill to give veterans and their families better access to health care specifically tailored to their needs. Our veterans have done so much for us. Now it's time to do what we can for them by providing a state-run health care system just for veterans and their families.
Paid for by the Alabama Council of Chapters Military Officers Association of America, Mobile.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Phone Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures continue to moderate, and we're dry, at least for now. Tonight, a few clouds, but mainly clear. Overnight low temperature down to about 50. Tomorrow is a nice warm day, up to about 80 on Thursday with a good bit of sunshine. The risk of scattered showers and storms holding off till late Thursday night, then widespread rain and storms on Friday, and periods of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, as the front stalls right over us. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE. When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
If you get a cough, please leave.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
I have a rebuttal to that.
Yeah?
If you don't want me to cough, change the air filter.
You mean on that unit back there?
Yeah. I mean, it's an impressive unit, but...
It is an impressive unit.
It needs to have its filter changed once in a while.
It's kind of intimidating.
Can be. Can be.
So, did you see the inflation numbers that came out yesterday?
I'm not surprised by them. I still think they're a little low.
Well, since I'm getting a little tired, let's go to my favorite economist, Peter St. Onge. Favorite modern economist, we'll put it that way. Yeah, I think Peter's great. And, well, this one's called Inflation Comes for Another Pound of Flesh.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the grocery store, inflation is back for another pound of flesh. New inflation numbers came out yesterday, and they were ugly. On an annualized basis, the CPI was up 5.4% in February. Ooh. That's up from 3.7 annualized in January, 2.8 in December, 1.9 in November, and just 0.9 annualized in October. No. Spot the pattern. That puts annualized inflation just below where it was in March of 2021, when it really started taking off, ultimately hitting an annualized 16% by mid-22. Ominously, the New York Fed separately reported that consumer inflation expectations also jumped last month, something they hadn't done in 2 years, but something they did do at the outset of the 21 inflation. The latest numbers put the body count at 19% inflation, that's official inflation, since Bidenomics was unleashed upon the American people. Of course, the media is downplaying all this, running with the year-on-year numbers, which don't look nearly so bad at 3.2. Yes, that's almost double the Fed's sacred target, but it is not 5.4. In fact, Wall Street Journal this very moment titles their inflation article as, quote, slightly hotter than expected. Of course, the only reason it's so low as 3.2 is because the year-ago numbers were driven by oil coming down as the world routed around the Ukraine war, and above all by the China crash, which tanked demand for oil. China is the world's biggest importer, and also crashed consumer goods prices as Chinese dumped unsold manufacturing output. It's worth noting media also did this when inflation took off in 2021, emphasizing year-on-year numbers to take the sting out of the bad data, just long enough to cover the transitory inflation gaslight that we all remember. It's almost like they say what they're told to. So what's driving the resurgence in inflation? In short, food and housing. Food was up an annualized 6% on the month. Of course, it's worse if you include shrinking products and crappier ingredients, crapflation. Shelter, meaning housing and rent, is up 6% on the year. Car insurance is up over 20%. Airfares took off, up by a third in the past 2 months on an annualized basis, for which you get a plane that the wheels fall off. The one bright spot was goods deflation as Chinese overproduction continues flooding in. I mentioned this the other day as short-term helpful on inflation, but of course at the cost of our remaining domestic manufacturers. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. I've worried in recent videos that we're repeating the 1970s catastrophe when government spending drove inflation and then the Fed tried to fix it by strangling the real economy with high rates. What happened in the 70s, aside from Captain Tennille, is the spending never came down. Meaning after a temporary pause in inflation, transitory pause you might say, it came roaring back bigger than ever. That inflation ran more than 5 years and only ended with rate hikes so savage, nearly 20%, that they crashed us into a pair of severe recessions with 10% unemployment that, of course, cost Jimmy Carter his job. The problem is if we do get a repeat of the 70s, I don't think Washington will be willing to fix it this time, specifically because it cost Jimmy Carter his job. So they're dumb, but they're not that dumb. So rather than take one for the good of the country, modern Washington may well let inflation run, massaging the statistics and gaslighting with media to ignore the pain as long as possible, which would mean years of stagflation culminating in a horrific purge that could make the 70s look like a garden party. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
Again, that's Peter St. Onge. His insights always welcome here on the program, especially, I think he's right on this inflation trend.
And again, just like they're going after Trump and thinking they're doing some damage and all it does is make Trump stronger, whenever they do anything to our economy, they think they're doing something good. It just screws you and me harder.
Yep.
Look at gas prices just in the past 2 weeks. And when you ask them what's up, oh, well, it's because of the Houthis. Hold on. What happened to all that huge gas reserve we had? Did you sell some of that off a while back to the Chinese?
Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Not a problem.
Yeah, no, I just remember my father. You know, he talked about in the, I think it was 74, it was early 70s. You could buy a new automobile for like $2,000.
Yep.
And within a year, it doubled. It was about, I think it was about the time we came off the gold standard. But there was a lot going on in the 70s, and but I remember the guys ahead of me in life, that had invested in homes and whatnot, and they lost a bunch of them lost their money. This was about the time I was traveling with the Army. But I just, yeah, Jimmy Carter, he lost his job, and this bunch right now, you've already seen they're justifying in, you know, a poor old feeble joker.
Yeah.
Being head of the party, so they're going to. I believe they're in until it burns. They're going to do whatever they can.
I think you're right, buddy. And when they do lose, which will be coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
Those few months are going to be crazy.
I hope this nation is really ready to. We're supposed to be a nation of laws, and all this about burning the cities and whatnot. And I hope the National Guard will come out in strength. But there's states, that's state's business, and there's places where it's just. There's going to be a lot of smoke and fire. The only other thing, listen, Joey, been having a good time in the chat room today.
Mm-hmm.
And, and there was one idea some genius floated about a reality love show that, I was thinking of maybe call it The Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's where you would invite young ladies into the studio, and the listeners would give them a rating. And if the rating was low, they would get canceled and kicked out. Yeah, kind of help a brother out. I could.
It sounds like you just want to watch women be judged.
Joey, I'm there for you, brother. You know, and yeah. Anyway, here you go, and the ones that get kicked out, well, that's still a win-win. It's good advertising because they can go walk Carmichael Road. You put them in a nice, fresh 93.1 T-shirt. Okay, all right, it's time for me to go.
See you, Tammy.
See you.
Love you, bro.
Goodness, man. Let's go to TR. Hey, TR.
Hey, you guys. How are y'all today?
Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Y'all were talking about pranks and stuff. We, back in the early 80s, went to Lanier, and we went through a phase with M80s. We used to get them up there where Eddie lives in Titus, at a little old gas station, and they were the bad boys, you know. Well, anyway, we were on the second floor of Lanier. They'd let people smoke cigarettes, and I never smoked. But anyway, my buddy, who's a indirect sponsor of your station, he smoked, and he got the idea that well, let's smoke this cigarette down and stick the fuse, you know, before it gets to the filter, the fuse of the M80 into the into the cigarette while it was still burning. So anyway, we put it behind the commode and we went to class, and it didn't go off, and we were like, well, hell, it must have just went out. So we got into class and was hanging out. Probably 10 minutes later, all of a sudden that sucker went off, and it sounded like those walls at Lanier, they were brick tile, and it just went boom. And the teacher, I think it was economics class, but he ran down the hall, and we were all looking out the classroom. He opened that door, and just a smoke came out of that bathroom, and it was just
yeah, those things are no joke, man.
Not the real ones. Back in the day, the good ones.
Yeah, we used to get them up in Titus where you live.
Yep.
But anyway, well, that was one that I could sit here for an hour and tell you all kind of crap. But
well, I appreciate it, TR.
Great show.
Thank you, TR.
Take care.
See you, bro.
Man, can you imagine the fit a school today would have?
Oh yeah, there was.
Your son brought explosives.
Yeah, I never did one, but it happened a lot, several times. Capitol Heights and Lee High School, I remember.
We got a quick break. Hopefully, have Ray Bowles on the other side.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Luxury car prices and payments have hit an all-time high. But at Lexus of Montgomery, we have every new Lexus model in stock with low APR financing to save you thousands. Right now, take advantage of as low as 3.99% APR financing on your favorite new Lexus. You don't have to pay more to get the luxury vehicle you want. Pay less at Lexus of Montgomery. You deserve to drive a Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery.
Financing up to 36 months is $29.50 per 1,000 finance. With approved credit. Ends 4/1/24.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final moments of the program. And as is tradition around this time of the day, we're the alarm clock for Ray Bowles.
That's right.
Ray is on the line. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I can't believe it's already 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
Well, I'm up here in North Carolina at a trade show for J.J. Haynes. And I'm actually got your speakerphone standing here with a couple of guys there. They've got this coolest thing. I'm going to buy this. It's a virtual retail. You take a picture of the room, right? Yeah. You come in, you can plug it into your little QR code or whatever they call it. I'm not a computer person. But you can take your room and put any floor you're looking at on your floor and see what it's going to look like with your furniture, with your paint, your pictures, whatever. This thing is the coolest thing ever. It only costs like $1,200 because I'm talking about it live on the radio, and they're listening to it. They sit there and give it to me for free. How about that?
Hey, that sounds like a really good idea there, Ray.
Yeah. They just started laughing and walk off.
Yeah. What?
But I'm going to invest in this, y'all, because it will make your shopping experience for flooring. It changes everything.
Oh, sure does.
Because one of the things I always hear is, oh, what if it don't work? I'm so scared this color's not going to look right in the house. This is a game changer. It is going to be foolproof whenever it comes to colors.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta love it. I'm not good at it, but you gotta love it. And I'll be back on the plane tonight, and I'm going to be back in the store first thing in the morning, so I'll be home tonight. I flew up here this morning and flew back tonight.
So folks can still call 285-8117 if they want to get in touch, especially if they want to try out this new tech.
Yes. How long will it take to get in once we order this? Few weeks. Couple of weeks. We'll
pretty
have it
good.
in.
Cool.
And I'll let you know as soon as we get it in.
Well, y'all call 285-8117 and be sure to tell them that you heard Ray on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Hey, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool right there.
Really cool.
Well, we're pretty much out of time now, folks. So, until tomorrow.
See you guys.
Happy Hour. Greg Vidal is next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A proposal to install new leadership in Haiti appears to be crumbling as some political parties rejected the plan to create a presidential council that would manage the transition. The panel would be responsible for selecting an interim prime minister and a council of ministers that would attempt to chart a new path for the Caribbean country that has been overrun by gangs. Mississippi Republican Governor Tate Reeves signing a new law that would allow women to receive Medicaid coverage earlier in pregnancy. That law would take effect July 1st. Louisville firing coach Kenny Payne after going 12-15